and the beautiful city in a rather beautiful country. It's Melbourne and Australia, respectively, regardless of how you pronounce them. He's going to pick me up on that any moment now. It's coming. Brace yourselves, because it's been happening for the next few days. We're talking about the Six Masters live to you from here in Melbourne. I'm Matt Andrews, and welcome to this beautiful city in the beautiful country of Australia and the best teams in ANZ. I want to say a Z there. They are joining us for the action, and at some point over today, tomorrow, and Sunday, we'll not only crown a champion in the Six Masters 2019, but maybe I'll get used to saying some things in some ways that don't make sense to me. Here in Australia, then, with these beautiful gentlemen and these incredible teams we've got to play with as well, we have Dev, we have Manic, we have Monkey. Guys, it's a pleasure being on the other side of the world for me to come and join you over here and see what these teams have got to offer. Dev, we're going to have some fun.
Oh, yeah, I bet we will. Lovely to have you here, Matt, even though you're still getting used to the lingo, but, mate, you got some time to settle in.
Yeah, a little bit here, yeah. And so far, Manic, I think I'm doing all right, and you're being very welcoming.
Welcoming? I don't know whether that's the right way.
No, it wasn't true at all.
It's not. I mean, someone's got to start the British and Australian kind of rivalry, and I thought maybe I'll get a head start on that one and start poking and prodding a little bit too much. But you know what? I'll give you a bit of a break. You've had a bit of a tough day.
Oh, it's easy, really. It's a tough journey getting here was the thing, but you're making it so nice for me so far, and Monkey as well, of course, here with us. Looking forward to the first game.
I am pretty pumped for the first game, in fact. Yeah, it's going to be a barn burner.
Yes, so we will get to it soon. This is just the first day. Our finalists will be known on Sunday, but to get here, 12 teams started off in the Six Masters a couple of months ago. There were 6 teams in each of Group A and B. This is how Group A turned out, and Monkey, of course, we lost a team through being disbanded. That left 5, so, you know, there's that little bit more chance of being in the top 4. It's only the top 4 who get here, so Cryptic are the one who didn't.
Yeah, it was a bit rough, honestly, in terms of how this group went down, because if we did have that team that disbanded stay in, they would be the ones here at this LAN instead of Oddity, which is, you know, there was, of course, a few problems with that team, and, you know, it's allowed Oddity to get here, which is really strange because Oddity are one of the better teams we have here in ANZ.
Yeah, it is sort of hard to understand, isn't it? When you look at this from being outside the scene, you go, oh, okay, that's your top 4 then. That's the teams who are coming through from this group. Yeah, Oddity, you know, a lot of people would have thought they were going to be here before this group even got underway.
That's right. We do have teams in the Pro League who have performed really well, Oddity and Cryptic, who aren't showing up in Six Masters so far, and vice versa. Teams like Sinister, who haven't done well in the Pro League, and Acme, who didn't even make it into the Pro League after they went through Challenger League, who have showed up here in the Six Masters and are looking to bring to a fight to it at LAN.
Yeah, Acme there with 3 wins and a loss out of their 4 games to get to this stage. So they're here. It's top 4 from each of the groups. It's Cryptic, as I say, the one who didn't get here out of Group A. Group B, we had all 6 teams in that. Electricity and Sleeper won't be joining us. To not many people's surprise from outside of this region, Manic, Fnatic have topped it.
Yeah, no, I guess when you see the name Fnatic, you kind of expect a result like this. We expect to see them front-running in pretty much every competition that we see here in ANZ. However, I am a little bit upset for Electricity, obviously the under-18 team, and from group stages, it looked so good from them. They had some really close matches.
Yeah, like the very first play week, they played Fnatic, and they almost took it, right? It was touch and go for the whole way. They took a map off them. That's one of the 2 maps that Fnatic lost in this season, and, you know, it was really close. But then for the rest of the season, they just fell off the map.
Yeah, it was a rough journey for them, but I guess, you know, Fury and Mindfreak, that's probably where we expect them to see, I guess, kind of just underneath Fnatic at that point. You know, we've got to have the 4 teams coming through, but Rhythm, I'm really interested to see how they go here at these playoffs.
Yeah, well, Fury, Mindfreak, and Fnatic have all been to LAN before, but for Rhythm, this will be their debut experience.
Yeah, that is going to happen for them really, really soon, because here's how the quarterfinals line up over this weekend. August will play Rhythm in our first game. That is coming to you tonight. And then Acme will play Mindfreak, Sinister have Fury, and Oddity will take on Fnatic in the rest of the quarterfinals, and all of those will be live to you here from at the Melbourne Esports Open tomorrow. It's just August versus Rhythm that are going to kick things off for today, and these teams are playing for a $50,000 prize pool, $20,000 of that going to the outright winner on Sunday nights. And we mentioned just there about how Rhythm have got this new chance of getting some experience here on LAN. It's a little bit easier for them because here on the first night it's a lot quieter than it's going to be over the rest of the weekend. So they're going to get this chance to play in an environment which is sort of new to them, but without that pressure of maybe 2,000 fans being in front of them. And make sure you come and join us at Melbourne Esports Open for what's coming over the next 2 days. Over the weeks that have brought us here, though, let's take a look at how the players chosen in terms of attackers and defense. Let's bring you the top 5s of each of those. What we've got here are the top 5 based on their pick rate and their ban rate combined. So basically we're looking at the attackers and the ones that have kind of been the most interesting, the most necessary to either pick or ban.
So the most important operators that we've had throughout the season so far, and a lot of staples, the high utility operators, those top 4 from left to right. But Zofia is the one that does stand out a little bit. She doesn't bring kind of a piece of utility that you don't find elsewhere. She's just a very versatile operator, and because of that, we haven't seen her banned.
No, I guess like when then when you taper it back a little bit, someone like Capitao, right, with the high percentage ban rate, we saw pretty much every match, at least in the best of 3, we'd see Capitao banned at least twice out of those situations because, I mean, like, those bolts are just so frustrating to try and hold on the defense.
It's not just the bolts, but it's also like the amount of utility he brings. Like the fire bolts, yes, they're the big danger, but the smoke bolts as well can just do as much damage.
Yeah, often picked for the utility there. Smoke bolts can be a real problem.
Oh, yeah.
Defenders line up like this. Again, this is the pick and the ban added together. Jaeger, very, very, very popular, but also not banned a great deal.
I think it's a little bit of a similar situation to Zavir. Jaeger does something that no one else does in the fact that he has those ADSs that catch projectiles, but he's also incredibly versatile in his fragging ability.
Oh, yeah, he's got such a great gun. He's 3 speed, and, being able to capture any throwable, grenades really is so important on some bomb sites.
Yeah, and we were talking about, obviously, the info gathering for the defensive meta at the moment is a big part of it. And, I mean, that's 4 operators right there, just banned, pretty much in every game we're going to see one of them banned at the very least.
We often see some of these operators, especially when you look at Maestro, Mira, and Echo, always 1 or 2 of these operators going to get banned, and the other ones will be played into a lot. And that's why we see these consistently high overall presence of the big pick rate and the ban rate. Because if they're not available, then they're not going to get used. But if they are available, then certainly they're going to be present.
So that's who our teams and players have been playing with. Where have they been playing, though? Let's show you the maps of the season. So these are the maps in terms of how often they were picked and banned. Clubhouse is a place we like to play. Cafe, less so. So it'll be interesting to see whether this is reflected now that we're here at LAN.
Yeah, definitely. I think, when you have a look at the Australian scene, Villa and I guess Cafe, when it came back in, saw a little bit of gameplay in the first couple of days and then really tapered off toward the end there. The band's obviously coming through. Just unfamiliar territory, I guess, not really wanting to dabble too much in that and risk a map.
Yeah, I also think that Cafe stats might be a bit skewed because Sinister really loved playing Cafe when it first came back in. It's something that they kind of tried to grind out before anyone else got used to it, so they could bring it out as a bit of almost a cheese map in that regards, or force your opponents to ban that map against you. So I think that could skew the results a bit, but I think Cafe is definitely coming into being a very good balanced map for competitive play.
And something that I've noticed over the course of several seasons and lands in various different Rainbow Six leagues is often we'll have teams really favor just a small map pool, and we see the same maps during the season. You can see the top 3 here, so very present. But when it comes to land, that's when you're bringing out those pocket strats, those little bit of extra things that you don't want to waste in the online seasons. So it's very likely we'll see some of those less played maps here in this event.
Of the teams who are here, who do you think is the one that's most likely to surprise others? The ones who could really pull out something we haven't seen before? Because some of these teams are quite reactive. Some of these teams, we've got some teams here who've just got fraggers who can put bodies down wherever they go. Who's the creative ones here? Who's the ones we're going to look at and come away from this weekend going, I've never seen anything like that before?
I'd say Oddity. I
Yeah.
think Raven, the brains behind the brawn of them, has. He comes up with some really good stuff. Like, I remember that one strat on Bank, I think it was you and I casting Dev, where he was tossing out impact grenades instead of anything else. And I was like, how have I not thought of this before? But that's my guess for that one.
Yeah, and they are a team that certainly needs something new to whip out because they haven't performed well in the season so far. They came last seed out of their group into this event. 4th seed, they're going up against Fnatic first up. So Oddity tomorrow is certainly going to need some of that extra little bit of oomph if they want to make an impact here.
And it's a single elimination tournament. It's all best of 3 games. So there's not a lot of time to kind of keep things back for later. Like, every game is going to matter. It's one of those great tournaments where you've got to get stuck in from the beginning. And all these teams want to show that they're the best in ANZ. And outside of this region, we see Fnatic a lot.
Yeah.
All the stages I go on to and do Siege around the world, it's usually Fnatic I'm bringing out if there's a team from this region and they are pretty much always there. So does that change this weekend? Do we see that maybe Fnatic aren't this number one powerhouse out of ANZ?
Well,
Z.
come on, mate, Z.
I want to say Z.
I think there's kind of two sides to that coin, right? They've just come off the back of the Raleigh Major, and they would be pretty disappointed with their performance. I know that for a fact. So the question is, do they come out swinging? Are they prepared for this? Are they coming out all guns blazing, trying to prove a point in ANZ, or is this time for them to kind of rest and relax a little bit, and maybe even have a bit of fun on the server? Dare I say it?
That might do them some good, though.
Yep.
To be honest, having a little bit of a relaxed attitude, not devaluing the tournament, but coming into it with that kind of fun attitude might be just what you need to kind of refine the spark and things that work.
In the past, we've seen Fnatic is the team from ANZ who has showed up at international events. As you've said, none of these other teams, in fact, no other team from ANZ specifically has ever made it past that APAC finals, that APAC level. August has been the one to try that, but even recently in the APAC qualifier for Raleigh, they didn't quite made it because of Cyclops. Fnatic, on the other hand, they've performed pretty poorly in ANZ. When they're local, they don't actually have the ability usually to topple August. Our last national tournament, Six Oceanic Cup, August took that W. So this is really Fnatic's opportunity to say, look, we are back here, we're back home. We might not have done as well as we did when we were in North Carolina, but we're certainly going to have a stab at the 50K at the end of this.
And at a big esports event like this here in Melbourne, that fans are going to turn up for many different games, many different things that are happening on all these different stages. There are some people who are just going to go, I want Fnatic to do well. Even if they've not seen the Siege team, they'll want Fnatic to do well. But the team who might come out of this as the number one of ANZ are the current reigning champions, August, and we're going to see them next because it's quarterfinals time. This is the trophy for the Six Masters 2019, and it's time to get a bit closer to finding out who is going to win it on Sunday. It's game time. We're into the quarterfinals. Let's get this started. We welcome our first two teams to our stage here at the Melbourne Esports Open. First team looking to lift this. They are Rhythm! Welcome to the quarterfinals, Rhythm! And their opponents would love to be the Six Masters champions. They can put that alongside the Oceanic Cup that they are also the reigning champions of. We're talking about Orgless! Welcome, the quarterfinalists, Orgless! Quarterfinal number one then, live to you from the Melbourne Esports Open. It's Rhythm against Orgless in the Six Masters.
Rightio. So, Orgless and Rhythm.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match. We're talking about Orgless being, as Matt mentioned, the reigning national tournament champions for ANZ. They've time and time again gone up against Fnatic and been victorious for a lot of the time as well. Held a candle to a lot of APAC teams as well, and I think it's a huge challenge for Rhythm to come up against.
It's a real underdog sports story, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got your Airbud, you got your... what other underdog sports stories are there? That's what this is, right?
I'll leave that to you right now.
Right, that's what that is, right? These boys need to dig deep if they want to take a W here.
Yeah, look, that's the thing right now for Rhythm, right? We're looking at Orgless saying, yeah, we're probably expecting them to, at the very least, make grand finals at this point, if not win the whole tournament. So what can Rhythm get done here? We know that, you know, they're actually a decent team, and we have seen them pull out some really good results before, but are they going to be able to come up against a fired-up Orgless?
You mentioned good results. They have taken a map off of Orgless. That's the thing, isn't it? In the rally qualifiers, they did get a map off of Orgless. If they're going to pin their kind of hopes on this one, it's right. We've done one. Let's get two this time. We're talking about Wayman, Thumbnail, Worthy, OJ, and Leb.
And it has been a few trials and tribulations that Rhythm have had to overcome. They went through the Challenge League to try to play in this season, the Pro League. They came sixth. That's last place in the ANZ Challenger League. And as you mentioned, Matt, they have taken some steps towards that that next level of play since then. They've made it here out of their group of six. So a lot of work still to go, and I think this is the best platform to try to prove themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing about this squad. They have made massive strides in like the last, 2 months. Like that, we've seen a massive improvement from them really quickly. Yeah, and you know the other thing that we've got to look at, first land for these players.
Yeah.
First land for this team. So there's a lot of pressure on them, but also at the same time, I guess it's a lot of pressure off their shoulders because no one's expecting them to pull out the massive results, but they're still expecting a decent fight.
And that's something you can really use in your favor as well. It's like, well, we are here with nothing to lose. It's a single elimination tournament. We've got to make it work now. It's not a group. We can't think about the next game. It's this game. Now, this match, this best of three that matters. Let's go take it to them.
Well, these guys love playing Rainbow Six, and they love to win. They're going to give it their best shot. They have nothing to lose and everything to prove right here, and that's a huge contrast to their opponent, who are the favorites for this tournament.
Yeah, they also have something to prove, though, don't they? They want to show they really are the #1 team, and when we get to bigger stages around the world, they want to walk on those. It's Orgless, who are Rhythm's opponents, of course. Derp, Diesel, Ethan, Neophyter, and Emorin.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm excited for Orgless right now because this is a really good opportunity, again, to kind of assert their dominance in the ANZ region and really pull through again.
The thing is, right, they are coming off the end of their player break, right? Like, this is their first competitive game since they lost to Cyclops in Sydney.
Yep.
Right, it's been so long. Like, of course, they can be scrimming, but nothing's going to be keeping them at that top level. Like, you know, and it's going to be pretty unfortunate if they're going to not hit the ground running here because there's only one chance.
As you mentioned, they won the Six Oceanic Cup. They are the reigning ANZ champions right now. They even won Pro League in Season 8 and almost won it last season as well. this is the team that everyone is looking towards to take this trophy aside from Fnatic. Everyone's waiting for that August Fnatic Grand Final that we've seen time and time again. If Rhythm take the game here, that's going to be the biggest upset of this entire tournament.
Yeah, well, two sides of the coin. A team that has come through, shown their worth, and are well and truly on top right now. Them and Fnatic, it's been that conversation ANZ for the past couple of months, versus Rhythm, who are just here to really put the best performance on that they possibly can. So I'm actually, it can really rattle a team like August. I mean, I'm hoping it's not going to, obviously, but...
Oh, yeah, I'd have to totally agree with you. The one point I want to touch on, though, is that both these teams are August, but they're both but they're both very different, contrasting August.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've got the team that is called August, right? Who are, wanting to take this professional. Right, I'm sure the guys on Rhythm are wanting to take this professional as well, but they are nowhere near as serious as what we've seen from August.
And how long have August really been without representation? They formerly represented Atletico. That was for a long time. They had that banner. I'm talking years, even before Australia had a pro league at all. And at the start of this year, they said, guys, we want to take the next step, and we think the best way to do that is to go August, put our name on the market, and they've been that way for 8 months now.
And they've kind of
still
chosen
nothing.
that, haven't they? Like, they want, they want the right next move for them rather than just anybody who comes along.
They're looking for that fairy tale story that Fnatic had. Fnatic were Mind Freak for a very long time and then suddenly just plucked out of the garden and put into these shoes, and now they've made all these global events. August is waiting for that.
Let's have a look at two of the players in particular. We're going to bring you some head-to-head matchups as we make our way through this weekend of the Six Masters. Ethan lines up against Worthy.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's right off the bat, your eyes kind of draw to the KD, right? That's kind of what everyone looks at a lot of the time. And I don't think it's a really fair representation of the two different players. Obviously, one could be the entry, well, one could just be the fragger in general, the better player, and the other could be sitting back on that support role. So
correct me if I'm wrong, though, that Worthy was the most highest rated player for Rhythm during the season?
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so, and Ethan, I believe, was right up there for August as well. So these are the two higher rated players, but I think you can look at those stats, but it just points to the fact that Ethan was on a team that was winning every single game.
Let's talk about somewhat what these stats mean. So KOST, K-O-S-T, that's something that a lot of people might not be familiar with. It stands for Kill Objective Survival Trade, and it is a percentage of the rounds in which this player either got a kill, planted or disabled the diffuser, survived the round, or after they died, they were immediately traded back by a teammate. So it's a perfect way to show how many rounds this player is actually having an impact. And for Ethan to be present and really having an impact in 81% of the rounds, especially on the flex role, that really just shows how good he is at that role and how well he fits into his team.
I mean, that's not just the best score we think for August, but that's probably one of the best costs for all the players we're going to see over this weekend, because 81% is as good as you can ask for, really, isn't it, on a cost?
Yeah, you can get 100% cost in one game, but you cannot do that over a whole season, and 80s are way up there.
It really demonstrates your consistency, and here we have Worthy on screen. Of course, we're really comparing two players who have slightly different roles. Ethan is that flex player, a well-known fragger, but often on that flex role, he lets some of his other players really do the main kind of core entry and core fragging, whereas Worthy is really that guy where Rhythm sends him forth and says, go frag out.
Yeah, well, you saw there as well, OKOD, some of you might not know, opening kill, opening death. So basically that's kind of like an entry stat, more or less. And it was definitely favouring more toward his Worthy. So the best thing about that is you're in the front line, you get the opportunity to find the opening frag. The worst part about that is you're going to die more times than not. Well, I mean, it kind of depends.
Not. Yeah,
right?
The best fraggers in the world can sustain over a 50%, and that is a challenge. When you're playing at the top level, if you win more than 50% of your entry engagements, that is incredibly impressive and an incredibly stressful position to be in as a player who is relied round after round. You're going to get into a gunfight, and you have to win that.
I was hanging out with the Fury guys just the other night, having a chat to them, right? And one of the things they were talking about was Worthy himself, saying, oh, he's been absolutely nuts in scrims. Like, they all boot camped at the same place, well, more by accident than anything. And they set up a scrim, and he was like, yeah, Worthy was just popping our heads. It was nuts. So, I'm really looking forward to him this weekend.
I mentioned earlier how Rhythm have taken a map off of August before, and so if they've got something to pin their hopes on here, it's, we've done that. Is that something that they can build on again? Was that a fluke? Is that something that's easy for August to fix?
Well, you were saying earlier that Ethan mentioned that their performance during the online portion of the Raleigh qualifier, which was when Rhythm got that map off of August, Ethan said it wasn't August's greatest performance. That said, they beat all the other teams that were trying to vie for it in ANZ and then went on to the qualifier. So I think that the player can sometimes be a bit hard on their team when they don't do so well, but it certainly is something to grab onto for Rhythm. You say, look, guys, we've taken a map off these guys before, and I think that's the biggest hurdle, especially when you get into an unfamiliar environment on LAN. Get that confidence up, talk yourself, and then step up to the plate.
I think replicating a result like that is... I don't think that it's possible to replicate a result exactly like that, especially when, you know, August are now kind of looking at this, and it is LAN, it's another different environment. That was online, now we're here, and it's a little bit more added pressure when you kind of match up the teams, the experience versus the non-experience. You kind of have to give that more so toward August. No matter what happens in this, if that is to happen, we have to pin it on August more than Rhythm.
Yeah, and not just, you know, more experience as a team, but more experience individually.
Yeah.
Right, like August, pretty much all their players have been playing since launch. Like, I know a bunch of the Rhythm guys have been playing for a long time, and, you know, they've had a few console migrations themselves, but, like, it's nothing to compare against, you know, the experience of August there.
I think it's also one thing to be playing the game since launch or playing the game for a long time and then have experience in a competitive team playing at the top level, scrimming the best teams in your region for a long time.
Maps are where this is all going to go down, of course. So here comes the vetoes. Let's find this out. It's all best of threes this weekend. We'll start off with a ban from each side. If you're not familiar with the veto process, we get a ban from each. So Rhythm have banned out Consulate, and August won't take us to Border.
Yeah, I think that's no surprise if you have a look at the stats that they've kind of pulled through for the vetoes. You know, I'm a big fan of vetoes. I think that it can make and break a certain game. And if you have a look, both Consulate and Border are not played by the particular teams in that scenario. So I think that that's smart. It's a safe bet. And at the very least, you know you're not going to come up against them on that map.
The dangerous things here for Rhythm is that, one, their worst map from the season, which is Clubhouse, is still in the pool for August to play. And August's best map from the season, Coastline, is also still in there. So
here come the picks.
Yeah.
So let's see whether they want to take it to confident places. Villa. August are taking us to Villa.
So Rhythm
are taking us to Villa. And August are taking us to Coastline.
So from my perspective, August here, pretty stable. They're picking their best map, or at least their best map from Six Masters so far. Rhythm have chosen the map where they've lost it once in the season so far, but it was also where August lost against Cyclops in their match that would have taken them to Raleigh if they had won it in the LAN against the Japanese team. So Rhythm has chosen a vulnerable position for August to take them to for map 1.
So yeah, they've watched that VOD. They're thinking, what can we gain from it? And, you know, going to try and exploit that.
It's definitely, you know, Villa, I think that that's going to be a surprise. Well, not so much a surprise. I think it's going to be an interesting match, seeing how they both kind of adapt to that. Rhythm might come in with an upper hand, might have a set strategy, a set idea that they want to take to it. But Coastline, you know, four maps being taken on August's side, and that's not just Six Masters either. We've seen them in other tournaments be absolutely indomitable on Coastline. So, you know, this is a high possibility for a 2-0 here.
The rest of the veto comes through now. The other maps banned out Cafe and Clubhouse, which means our decider, if we get there, is Bank.
So Bank's comfortable territory for both of these teams. Rhythm have a 3-1, 3 wins, 1 loss rating so far in the Six Masters season. So it's a nice spot for them, but it's also a fantastic map for August, has been for a very long time. So I think both of these teams are going to be comfortable on Bank. Both of them have a shot. If Rhythm want to win this series, they have to take map 1. They have to come out swinging, and that's a big ask for their first LAN.
Coming out swinging, I really feel that is the only way to describe it, because if they can't get out of that gate early, if they can't get fired up, you know, Coastline just touched on that. It should be a walkover when we look at August and their results, but yeah, I am a little bit kind of scared for the 2-0 for Rhythm here, that's for sure.
We were just taking a look at the player shots or the shots of the players on stage, and like, which team looks more comfortable, do you reckon? Like, you know, I think, you know, August do look quietly comfortable, but I think Rhythm look quietly nervous there. And it's going to be tough to come out swinging if they're a bit nervous.
And they've got to come out swinging.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, they're going to come into this with that attitude we talked about at the beginning of the segment. They've got nothing to lose here.
Yes.
You want to do well, of course, but you've got nothing to lose. So get at them. There's nothing else you can do. There's nothing better than you can do than start off first round having a scrap against them, because August will be assuming they're going to win this and reasonably so.
Yeah, this is business as usual for August. These guys have played so many LANs, whether that's on stage or backstage at a private event. It is completely normal for August to be in a position where they know they've got to come up against a team on LAN, and they've also played all the ANZ teams to death. and they always come out on top of it.
So it's everything to lose versus nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
It's tasty, isn't it?
It is. It's really spicy because it's the quarterfinals, right? This is where things can really get a little bit confusing and can cause those upsets. Coming in, you're a little bit cold or fresh. No, depends how you want to look at it, right? You're coming in fresh because you've had a bit of time to break this down, but at the same time, you're a bit cold from that competitive break that we've seen.
Yeah, you know, I think the one way to describe this matchup, David versus Goliath.
Ah.
Yeah, and if David takes the win here, then that is a huge upset for the rest of the tournament. Like I was saying, I think on paper, Rhythm is the lowest rated team at the tournament based on their long-term results and even some of their recent results. Contrast to Auglis.
Have they got it? Can they take the first map? Can they charge off from here with this nothing to lose, everything to lose scrap ahead of us? David Goliath, Rhythm and Auglis will go with Manic and Monkey to Villa.
Yeah, this is where it really needs to start. Straight off the bat for Rhythm, right? They've got to come in and they've got to be confident, Monkey.
And, you know, I hope they can shake those nerves that I was seeing on stage earlier. I think, you know, the fact that there is no crowd here just tonight, of course we're going to have the crowd tomorrow, you know, that does take a bit off the nerves. Like, can you imagine just peeking over the top of your monitor and seeing, what, 2,000 people sitting there watching you?
It's definitely, you know, I guess tonight it's the peers night, right? So you've got your fellow gamers out in the stands. So still, you know, like I want to say it's still pressure, but nothing compared to the seats being filled, rather. So going through the bands, Buck and Habana going off the attacking side first. What are we thoughts?
I can understand the Buck band. He can do so much vertical pressure on a map like Villa. Pretty much the whole of that top floor is destructible.
Yep. So Mirror going to be banned out again. I believe that was something like 63%. Yeah, 65.6% of all maps played.
And what do we reckon for the next one? Just an Echo, Maestro.
Echo,
You can
Maestro.
just throw it at the dartboard between those two, and you can probably come out right.
On
There you
Echo.
go. Yeah.
Smack bang on Echo, my friend. So now it's just about where we do head for that first round, of course. Swinging will be Rhythm. Auglis will be defending. So round one, what kind of can they make a strong enough statement to rattle Auglis here? We're going down the dining
The thing is, Auglis get to start out on defense here. And, you know, because we're in this defensive side of meta, it is so hard for attackers to attack sometimes. It's, you know, it's going to be that much harder to come out swinging, as you said.
It is right now. There is quite a high win rate on the dining room kitchen area. So, you know, 6 of 10 attempts from the season. That's where we've headed out. We do get the loadout, 6 pick.
Attackers need to locate and
right at the end,
defuse
so might be looking for some of those cheeky vertical plays Monkey seen quite often throughout the season. Probably going to see more of the same.
Yeah. Now, these guys, I believe, are playing on the land field, land-specific field for Rainbow Six.
Makes it a little bit easier, a little bit harder.
Well, I just want to point out that, you know, they've got the names that they want for once, right? Like, it's Derp.
Derp.
Yeah, no Derp, no Ethan dot dash hyphen whatever.
I'm not going to lie, that threw me off the first time I saw it. The Derp. That's all right.
Yeah.
So now the pressure.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Realistically, the pressure's more so on Auglis in this, isn't it? Because Rhythm are just scot-free,
Yeah.
worry-free.
Yeah, scot-free, worry-free. But then again, right,
New
like
camera
it's,
feed.
you know, Auglis have the experience under the pressure. Like, you know, to make a diamond, you got to be under pressure.
Yeah, that's very true. And Auglis have been under pressure for quite some time, you know, constantly been that back and forth battle inside that ANZ region
Bomb
for
located by
the
attackers.
#1 spot. But,
Number one.
I mean, in terms of the international, like, you know, the second we look at international events, it's not even close to being possible. So already making a bit of vertical play. Derp just giving the information across.
Yeah, tons of info with this Pulse, this Valkyrie, and this Mozzie combo. And, you know, the Legion's also technically a info gather,
Yep.
isn't it? So that's 4 out of 5.
It's a thorn in the side.
And then the MEO is like an info denial.
Yep.
So, playing the information game here, Auglis.
Bit of a loadout. Thumbnail does find the first kill of the tournament, taking down MEO, who was the Valk, so not all that much lost.
Oh.
Nicely done from Derp. My word, that's a way to respond. And Emo Rin as well. 3 C4s in quick succession, and geez, that's a little bit rattling for Rhythm at that point.
And that's why this information game matters so much, right? Wayne Man and Leb with the all to do from this point.
Man will just be obviously trying to find the free areas, but actually made his way all the way through. He's going to be able to find the free kill on toward Ethan. Opens up a little bit more of the site. Still got one anchoring down. Does find the early engagement, but surely Wayne Man stuck in between a rock and a hard place. All the attention from Auglis right now is on toward Wayne Man. Will allow Leb to come in from the side, but the Goomite still being the stick.
Yeah, you can see the plan there from Rhythm. They're like, all right, our plan to take top floor has been cancelled, so we're just going to walk our way into sight. And Auglis were just not ready for that.
Leb's for that opening. Wayne Man's been able to actually deny the early entrance from Diesel there, but Derp once again stepping up. Leb faking the defusal, however, I think it's just short-lived. Emo Rin, that's the first round going the way of Auglis, and I mean, an explosive start with those C4s, quite literally.
Oh, yeah. You know, as soon as I saw that C4 tracking those three people that were so close together, I was like,
nicely done.
I was like, you know, there is no, there's no chance that this is not going to go badly here for Rhythm.
AVG, as you like to call it, Monkey. We head upstairs.
AVG. It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It really does. It's got quite a nice little roll. 75%, 3/4 of the rounds there for one on this particular site. I mean, like it's, you know, it is probably one of the highest percentages, almost up there, to be honest. So this should be another round going the way of Auglis if we're looking at the stats. But of course, that's never really telling enough of two teams, is it?
Look.
Need to locate
Stats are all well and good to draw some, you know, inspiration from it.
Yep.
But the thing about stats is either they're going to continue being the same or they're going to get broken one day. And
Yes.
you never know when they're going to get broken. But that's just how stats work. You're welcome.
The hot fire knowledge. Making it nice and easy. So prep phase with August already taking that first round. And I want to say quite convincingly, but Rhythm still gave him a bit of hell toward the end there. Still put him under the pump.
And I suppose, like, you know, it was, if you look at it from a completely kind of, you know, how do you play Rainbow Six angle, August played that perfectly.
Yep.
Then Rhythm did the unexpected, which allowed them to get back into the round, didn't they?
So Derp's actually going to leave Vault open here, which a lot of the times we generally see that obviously being reinforced. And Diesel now making sure they've got plenty of the vertical plays coming through as he does look to hold down the alt.
Yeah, I wonder what the plan is with that Vault unreinforced. Oh, what's this?
Oh, my word, that's the hair of the chinny chin chin, I think, for that one. So Neo Fighter gets away.
Some unfortunate timing, that's for sure. And now, of course, the Jackal's going to come out and force him back.
So it looks like they seem to be pretty happy to hold that 90. Obviously, the 90 bend will be quite the contesting area, as we are already seeing, you know, the opening up straight in toward Vault. So we've got to double down with Jaeger on the deployable shield on the other side. So they've got plenty of cover to try and make that fight work. I think the early information is worthy, however.
You know, we are right next to the players and we can hear their communication. It is coming thick and fast, isn't it, Manic?
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's one thing that I think a lot of people overlook when we're talking about any kind of esport in general, let alone a game that is so complicated. And there we go. So we actually end up seeing Derp reinforce that wall after the early kind of access that he was looking to play for.
Yeah, keep one in his pocket and pull it out, you know, when they decide to do that. Oh, Leb's going to lose a drone to the Mozzie, however, completely denies it instantly.
Slower round. Rhythm not really doing too much in terms of trying to force the fight. And nor Auglis. Auglis are actually playing pretty defensive right now. You've still got Ethan down on the first floor, but OJ starting to make a little bit of room on that Jackal.
Yeah, pretty well textbook Rainbow Six. Looks like it is going to be OJ just trying to take the 50-50 here, not having any backup or any utility usage. In fact, I'll lie, Leb's right behind him.
That's Ethan coming through the flooring again. So that's 4 C4 kills in a matter of 2 rounds, and they're not even done this second one either. Still Emo Rin holding from in behind the bar. Still got the support, obviously, of Diesel. So there's not too much stress, not too much pressure being put on Auglis just yet.
thing is, right, Rhythm are going to have to force their way in for these choke points now. You can see those smoke bays coming out. There's also the goo mines, the bullets, the pre-fires, all going to be coming out. They really need to get in here.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit too tight, a little bit too uncomfortable for Rhythm, and of course it'll start to heat up with those smokes being held down. Ethan's going to try and open up the vertical play as well. Turn gets into position. The diffuser's trying to go down, but it's Ethan from below actually that finds the kill. Now Thumbnail realizes he's going to try to push that, maybe put a little bit more pressure. Neofighter, however, chiming in on Wayne Man, and that should be the round done and dusted. Ethan finding the kill. Thumbnail merely a consolation frag at the end with Rhythm taking another round. That one just oh so convincing.
It was very convincing, but like, you know, August at the start, they looked a bit shaky there. Neo almost getting caught completely off guard. And, you know, I suppose that shows, right? August can have a not so perfect round and still pretty much have a flawless win there.
Guess that kind of shows the, I want to say determination, but I feel like that's a bit of a cheesy term to pull out. I guess it's
determination.
Just, yeah.
Between the two, I think it just shows the class difference almost, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You have to say August are a class above here. Like,
yeah, no, of course. You really, I don't think we can bat around that too much, can we? It's, you know, talking about in the pre-game, we're expecting August to take this. So
we are, yeah.
You know, there's no, you can't bat around that. There's no way of kind of saying, oh yeah, but Rhythm could give them some trouble. No, just flat out, August are one of the front runners in this.
And it's been 2 rounds down. August have got 10 kills, Rhythm have got 4. So.
Yeah.
You know, they are, of course, just looking better so far, and that's what we expected. You know, we can't really draw too much from that.
No.
August good. There we go.
Just the blanket statement, just good. Good, August, good. That's all right. Once again, taking in the Valk. Obviously gives them a fair bit of information.
What's the bomb site? Is that trophy, I'd say?
Statuary.
Yeah, trophy. Yeah,
Stats. Big boys.
Statuary, what a word though, hey?
I know. It still gets me a little bit caught up, I'm not going to lie. Still, when I'm trying to say it nice and quick, it just throws me off a little bit. So obviously a fair bit of presence being put down into Water Strongly there. How long we actually see the attention being put, we'll wait and see.
You know, I'm surprised we're not seeing Rhythm bust out a Thatcher. Thatcher can be so powerful, especially on this bomb site. He's what we saw him also as one of the most picked early, didn't we?
Yep, certainly did. Thatcher most picked, 10% ban, and when he is banned, like Dev was saying, it's catastrophic for the attacking side.
Yeah,
really, it cuts down your possibilities quite a lot. So
well, step 1 on this bomb site here from Rhythm is to take downstairs first, which we see the drones coming on out. And no one from August down here, which is a bit surprising, seeing as they've been doing those C4s from below so much in the first 2 rounds.
You know what? The thing here for Rhythm is now they have to check every possible angle downstairs. You know, that's 2 rounds in a row they've been able to get away with quite literal murder and make it back to the bomb site and double down at the same time. So that's interesting.
Yeah, Leb's going to use the Maverick on this wall. Like, as I said, Thatcher would be a great counter here, but instead they're just going to use the Maverick, and that does make sense. Is that Neofighter just wanting to get aggressive here? No one's watching it, at least as far as I can tell.
There was one a little bit further back. There we go. Neofighter trying to force the issue there, and
that was
possibly could have caught them out for a second. Leb gets away scot-free though, so.
Yeah, that C4 rip was a bit scary. All right, there was the Claymore there, which I didn't see earlier, which stopped him from getting too aggressive, didn't it?
Certainly did. Neofighter just gets away as well. 2 different angles to try and watch there. Rhythm have done a pretty good job of actually taking a lot of control, a lot of spacing from August, just ripping it out of the hands. So now they've got a little bit more to play with.
Yeah, they've done some good damage down onto August as well. Emo, Derp, and Neo all have been hit. Looks like Wayne Man is the only one for Rhythm that have taken some damage so far. There's still 45 seconds. There's Emo in with the first one onto OJ. Worthy almost getting that floor bang onto the one behind desk. In fact, he's just going to peek up over and find Derp.
He'll eventually clean the kill up. Wayne Man trying to take the long-range engagement. Not really paying off just yet. And Ethan, he can just sit pretty. There's 25 seconds left on the clock. Rhythm need to get a move on here with Neo Fighter taking down Thumbnail. It's making the job so much harder. It's Worthy will be able to find another. Diesel's waiting just around the corner. But look at the damage being done by Wayne Man. Is it enough? No, Diesel still holding on tight. There is little to no HP on Wayne Man left. 10 seconds. And Diesel is in prime position to win this one out.
Yeah, with a shotgun close range, no matter the amount of HP, you're probably dead, but Wayne Man! He's going to find the headshot at the end there, and that's going to be Rhythm digging deep and finding their first.
What was that? 4 kills from Wayne Man. It looked like it was all going south. They had 25 seconds left. Auglers were holding in tight, anchoring on that B site, and out of nowhere, Wayne Man just pops up with 3 unbelievable kills. But geez, Diesel put a lot of effort in.
Diesel in that first peak, he saw the very tiniest angle. Oh, and to believe not one pellet hit. He just needed 1 to hit, and Diesel would have won that round there.
It's always, it's always the way though, isn't it? It comes down to the wire. But what a huge performance there, and to get a first round for Rhythm now gives them a little bit of room to breathe.
Yeah, and sometimes it is about getting that first round up on the board. Like, you ever played a game where you can't find a frag for your life, and then finally you do get one, and then you start rolling?
You mean every game? But I don't get rolling.
All right.
It's just
no, but yeah, sometimes it's the same for rounds as well.
Yeah. No, 100%. A big point that we make a lot of the time is momentum, right? Momentum has to carry you through, and if Rhythm can work off the back of that, maybe they get up and about, they get around Wayne Man, and all of a sudden, pop, pop, pop. Hello.
Yeah, quite some good shots hit from all of Rhythm there, wasn't it?
Yeah, again, is it more the strat that they're trying to bring in there, or is it just individuals stepping up? And I think I know the answer to that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
More so the individual prowess coming through with with Wayne Man popping off.
And I think it was Worthy. He got that first one, almost the floor bang, and then also the one through the wall. It was, bit of a Vac-worthy shot almost, wasn't it?
It's certainly like you love to hate it, right? You love to hate it. It's one of those things where when you do see it, it obviously kind of blows your mind a little bit. The pre-fires coming through the walls, but you still, when it does connect, it's just the most satisfying feeling.
And like the thing is, a lot of players sitting at home might be thinking, "Oh, how did he get that?" But that's the kind of shots that come from experience and also teamwork.
Yeah. And when you've put this many hours into a game, you're going to know the certain angles that are going to give you the greatest possibility of finding the free, maybe even opening kill. At that point, I actually think it was an opening kill from his Worthy, or maybe the second frag onto the site, again alleviating space to allow them to come on through and find the free kills. So, there's positive signs for Rhythm. However, it really feels like Auglers have the number picked.
Well, let's say, right, this was the closest round so far, right?
Yep.
And it was Rhythm's best round. Right? That's worrying.
And again, individual power shining on through in that particular engagement. But I guess it is the start of the best of 3. It's early days. And this is going to be completely different, I feel, from the atmosphere and also the pressure that we're going to see tomorrow, Monkey. This is, like you were saying earlier, this is a bit of a free hand almost. Like they're almost being given the upper hand in the fact that they don't have to really worry too much about it. The audience,
but some people feed off the crowd, right? Like
how? Chewing.
What?
Chewing down on it. How?
Yeah, like they feed on the energy, and whether it's them playing a villain or being the hero, they hear that energy and that gets them riled up. But I think that just comes down to person by person. So we don't really know how it would affect them, would we? And
I guess, 1, we don't know the individual person enough to be able to comment on that. But 2, it's Rhythm's first LAN. So we don't know what they're like at LAN. We don't know how they react to certain situations, which obviously, under certain pressure, if you've been at LAN a couple of times, if you've felt the pressure, if you've felt that kind of vibe, maybe you can dig yourself out of it, whereas a team like Rhythm, maybe they can't.
Emo Rin hasn't really been doing much too far, has he? Like, he's normally one of the players we see stepping up huge on the side of Auglers, but he's kind of he hasn't really been brought to my attention so far, I suppose is the way to say it.
No, not so much. But, you know, when your team's doing exactly, you know, when you're playing the small, it might even be the 1%er, right? It's the 1% play.
Yeah.
It's the intel gathering. It's being tradable. It's being traded. You know, it's all of these different things actually give you an opportunity at giving your team the best upper hand. And it feels like, again, you know, broken records being broken records. August right now looking really comfortable and really good on Villa.
Yeah, they are. But then again, they are starting out on defense. You know, this is a dead horse that, you know, I'm going to go back to and beat again. But, you know, we're in a defensive-sided meta on a defensive-sided map like Villa just because it's so big. So, you know, it's kind of like in Siege at this stage, it really feels like a kind of battle of attrition where you start out by trying to get as many rounds up on defense or you're trying to fight back from behind and get more rounds on defense.
Can be a little bit tilting, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
it can actually, you know, that can be a certain level of tilt. And again, teams that do have the better chances are generally the ones that have been in those situations more. So it's it is about keeping a cool head as much as it is about being a good player. It's the whole kind of vibe that brings together. But I think, you know, for us to head to Bank right now, for that third map, for Rhythm to be able, because we're talking about Rhythm pushing it more so than August maybe, you know, misstepping. It's more about, can Rhythm bring us rather to Bank? What can they get done here? It feels like the David Goliath situation.
As I said, it's if this game goes to Rhythm, it'll be August losing it rather than Rhythm winning. And I'm sorry to say that, but like there is a whole class difference here. And sometimes we have been proved wrong though, and you know I always like to be proved wrong because it just creates, you know, some really interesting storylines. But I'd be very surprised if that happened here.
I'll say I'm all about expectations being broken because it really does. It gives you just a better sense of achievement for that team, individual, whatever it may be. But I guess, you know, like when you're looking at the reason.
Those notes? Hold on.
Oh,
hold on.
now here we go.
Solix.
Rookie, absolute rookie mistake. Someone's gone ahead and screenshotted that, zoomed in, realized they couldn't even read the actual the lettering on that. But
just got to hit the enhance button on your computer. Don't you have one? In your Photoshop?
What's that?
You got the enhance button.
Oh, the enhance. What are we on? CSI Miami or something? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, due to some unfortunate technical issues, we are going to throw to a short break. But when we come back, it's going to be August and Rhythm finishing out map 1.
These wolves are perfect predators. They have the knowledge of their hunting ground, but we have the element of surprise. They have the technology, but we have the skills to even the odds. They have an army. We fight with our brothers and sisters. They are hungry, but we are enraged. We are ghosts. And ghosts never die.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on in. Technical issues being technical issues, we can't really dance around those ones, but
Yeah.
of course we are ready to get back in, hopefully.
Hopefully, I can hear the countdown, so
Love and life.
love and life.
Back on into it. Will we see the 6th pick? That's the real question. Okay, Mozzie in for Valken, nothing on the side of Rhythm. So they've kept a pretty standard, well, from the first round they're standard, via the, rather, other than the Pulse.
I believe on the first time they played this bomb site, they didn't bring the Jaeger, did they? It was, are they back at Trophy?
Yes.
Is that true?
They certainly are.
Oh.
Reattempting.
Oh, no. No, they are in the kitchen. Sorry, I didn't say it. Kitchen. Back at kitchen. Yeah, they didn't bring the Jaeger. I believe they did bring the Valkyrie and the... Oh, no, they are Trophy and Statuary.
We got there.
All right, sorry.
And we're there. It's alright. I'll let you off the hook this time, Monkey.
All right. Now, the point I was about to make is completely irrelevant.
Don't you hate it? Don't you hate it?
Oh, I do.
Nice point brewing in the back of your mind, and then it's all but devastated at the end of it.
So what I do want to say is overall what we've seen so far here from Rhythm is that they'll start off with a plan. That won't work, so they'll try and bum rush into the bomb site, right? Or, well, just kind of waltz their way in.
Yeah.
And that almost worked in the first round. They got completely shut down in the second. And that last round, it managed to just come off, didn't it?
Yeah, again, that's the thing. We're looking at the individual performances more than the team as a whole. Obviously, the team's going to give you the opportunity to make something like that work, but can't really rely on clutch players constantly to win you a map. Or you can to win a map, not a series, though.
Yeah. Unless you can do it consistently, right?
If you're doing it consistently, you may as well be over in Europe at this point.
Yeah. 1v5 every round, too easy.
Too easy. Well, early droning, giving them the information. Thumbnails wasting no time whatsoever. Already making their way through, and again, Claymore just sitting there to ensure that they don't get that free passage for the flank. Ooh. Okay, MEO.
Uses Leb's own Maverick hole to get the down there. In fact, it's going to be Emo Ren to clean up the two there, including the downed OJ. We still have Leb around the corner that he has to worry about, but this has gone very poorly for Rhythm so far.
Yeah, if you look at how much pressure, August have really fit across toward that southern side of the map. They also had a couple of goo mines there. Neo Fighter will be able to take the attention away as he's found the kill from behind. Now the diffuser in hand, Thumbnail is going to have to try and make their way back across toward that south side, across towards Study, and it's not working out whatsoever, Monkey.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It's not much, but this has not been great here for Rhythm, and Diesel would have shutted it down with the one-tap shotgun. Sounds like he's got a fan out there.
Just one boy. One loud boy.
Loud boy.
Loud boy. That shot, I mean, that was the play last round that really gave him something, but nicely done.
He couldn't even see him.
No.
Well, at least I couldn't.
It's a bit of a pre-fire as he's going through, sees the Maverick hole. Why not?
Why not?
And I guess that's the point at the end of the day. Why not? And you found a kill, also giving the information across to Emo Rin, who comes in, just putt, finds two. And again, all of the attention in Study doesn't really give them much room to breathe.
Now remember, this is Rhythm's pick, isn't it?
Yes.
And we were theory crafting, if you're Rhythm, what are you picking, what are you banning? And, one of the things that we decided on is you want to pick a map where you can play your own game rather than try and hamper August. But I think, them picking Villa here is trying for them to pick a map where they can hamper August. But it's not really working out.
No, it was a little bit of a surprise. Obviously, Coastline, they're not going to go and pick August's map pick and give them, a free one. But at the same time, I would have expected Rhythm to have picked Bank first up. Rather, it's been left in for the deciding map. So the problem is, though, Monkey, do we actually get to Bank? At the rate we're going, the pace we're traveling with August, I can't see it happening.
Yeah, it has been a bit of a steamroll so far. Of course, the one round that Rhythm did pick up, it was some great, I love this term, individual brilliance.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes, again, you can win a round or two. You can maybe even win a map or two, but to solely rely on it is going to give you so many problems. Oh, no. That's not it. That is...
Can we get a rehost on that one, guys? That's a horrible way to start it off. Not only have you accidentally team killed someone, but it's the only hard breach you had on your roster.
Oh, wow. This, again, a job pretty much made near impossible to make their way to the side. They're going to have to try and take these fights at this point. Like you're saying, no hard breach up. What do you then turn to?
I think they're going to, do what they've been doing, just hanging around for the first couple of minutes, and then just try and just bum rushing through one door, one opening.
Auglis have done very well at actually ensuring that Rhythm don't have free map control. If you look every round, Auglis have put attention in one certain area. There's Neofighter finding the first kill on the ward thumbnail. Well, rather the second kill. It's just going from bad to worse for Rhythm.
Well, OJ, Worthy, and Wayne Man, what can yous do, lads? Can yous salvage this round here? Neofighter, he's pretty well pinned down, so they're going to have to take the 1v1s here. In fact, Worthy is going to pull it off, but there's a quick trade. He's actually going to down him. Ethan to finish things off there. Immediately traded out there. We're going to see the Nitro through the floor. No, OJ's going to escape that just in time. So, OJ and Wayne, man, they're still standing. They're still kicking, but they've still got a task ahead of them.
Again, they've still... Rhythm have made no real movement toward that site. They've been given no extra information. Derp's just giving the information. Diesel's chasing around. I think Diesel's got the shotgun out ready to do this, and it's Emo in to take down Wayne Man. This is all just falling apart. And there's the information.
Oh,
okay,
Ethan's going to get it.
Ethan nicks it in the end, but, what did we even see from Rhythm? I feel like there was nothing from Rhythm that even was able to contest what Auglis had done there.
I hate ragging on a team, but that round was a bit of a collapse, wasn't it?
Yep. They lost their foundation at the start, and the house just crumbled right after that.
Oh, yep. Unfortunate for them, but they got to shake it off right now, don't they? Shake it off.
Give it something. You can't let it affect you too much. And at this point, at least they're getting back in, dusting the saddle off. But surely we can't be seeing a mistake like that early on, taking down your own teammate from thumbnail.
It was one of those things of like, he was probably shooting the camera and he ran right in front of him. Like,
oh, we've all been there.
Oh yeah,
we quite literally have all been there.
On both ends.
Yep. Receiving just as bad, but the big donuts for 11OJ. Obviously, kills aren't everything, but when you see 2 donuts, 2 bagels.
Goose eggs, I've heard them called as well.
Oh, they've got numerous names. What they don't have is any value.
Good one.
Bang.
Good one.
Had to throw it out there.
I think that's kind of like it highlights for us, like, who is the ones that get the pressure on them the most.
Yep.
Like, if this was online, I would probably guarantee that those players would not be on donuts.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you almost fully there. Now, back in toward the AVG.
Now this was very dominant for Auglis. If I remember, it was 1 kill to Rhythm in the end.
Yep. They're going for that same setup as well in toward Vault. So I'd really like to see what they're trying. I'd love to get just the point of view just on the sole Maestro, just to see exactly what they're doing in this situation.
I think they're hoping they might be able to get some kind of kill from it. They are prepping up a small rotate hole.
And once again, you're going to have to see Rhythm come from, the north side back toward the south, sweep pretty much everything. Because nearly every round, I think there was maybe one case, even in the second round, Auglis have found one an opening or two a trade on a flanker or someone trying to play through that vertical.
All right, so we just saw this Maestro camera destroyed at the end of the hallway. Is that the point where the reinforcement comes out, I wonder? Okay, looks like it has been reinforced or not. Yes, it has, but Worthy did take a lot of damage. I have no idea where that was from, Manic.
Maybe the drone hole?
Perhaps, yeah.
Maybe the drone hole through Vault. Derp did have the angle. He is prone, so I can only put 2 and 2 together and assume that that's what's happened. Now, Thumbnail's on the hunt for Emo Rin, who's just sitting a little bit deep up.
Oh, he's found his footsteps too. Oh, but it's Mozzie's. Emo Rin might be able to bait him right on in here. Oh no, but there's the ping onto Emo Rin now, which is going to send him back up. So a bit of a waste on the Jaeger utility, sorry, on the Jackal utility almost. But he's doing his job, clearing out those roamers as Ethan will find the first one there. That is that Jackal finally going down.
If maybe one more quick check, but apart from that, it's now all in the hands of Rhythm again, down to the minute mark, and they've done no damage. They really haven't progressed a hell of a lot toward the sites. We're just going to, I feel like here comes another just like the other monkey.
Yeah, they're just going to force their way in through the doors, try and get a plant down and just get, you know, completely mulched apart in the meat grinder.
30 seconds. Worthy does find Emo Rin, but dispensable operator at the very best. Neo fighter, nicely done to read OJ coming through there. Cleans off the head. Herb's inverted a little bit more with Leb now trying to put the pressure back from that southern side, but doesn't spot out the one member already holding the pre-held line even. Ethan does find another actually in that engagement.
Yeah, but this is probably round over here from Wayne Man. No way he's getting through this door. There we go. Neofighter will be the one to put the notch in his belt there.
Yeah. But.
Chest slaps there from Solix.
Nice
stuff, Chief.
Yep. It just, you know, I don't really think we've seen too many different things from Rhythm in that.
Yeah, it's they're just lacking ideas, aren't they? The one impressive thing about that Neofighter shot, I feel, is the fact that he like fully had to go back to the angle and still managed to react and flick with such precision.
Yeah. Felt like OJ was a little bit unfortunate in the engagement, as maybe he'd been able to make his way through and kind of catch them off guard a little bit. But yeah, this is something that we could have seen brought out from Rhythm, the Thermite, the Thatcher, give them the opportunity to go ahead and blow the wall open, but they didn't really give themselves, you know, it just felt so narrow by the end of the 6 rounds. It just felt so dry, and there was nothing really new that they could bring to it. So let's hope maybe this defensive side brings something a little bit more, maybe a glimmer of hope for Rhythm.
I think we saw on that half, you know, the failing we see from pretty much every attacking side, right? It's a lack of being able to coordinate properly, a lack of I suppose it just shows why attack is so hard, right?
Yeah. Definitely the oldie defensive side of meta, my friend.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So thumbnail,
5 seconds to
I mean,
insertion.
had a very rough start.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
We're in the second half. We can take a little bit of a breather. We can give a little bit more into the side of the defense. We are going to AVG that has seen so much success in previous attempts.
Was it 3 out of 4?
I believe 3 out of 4. Every 4th round was unsuccessful, but that is, you know, 75% is extremely high, especially for how often we see it played.
Swapping map.
Well, what's going to be the strat here from August? Obviously, they're going to start taking from the master bedroom. We're in. He's hanging out in the bed because he has to be very careful of any C4s that come up from below. If he's just that little bit elevated off the ground, it's not going to... I think it does a little bit of damage, but doesn't kill him.
Hinders the
Attackers
movement.
have located
Might
a
blow
bomb.
off some feet. You'll have to use some stumps to get through.
Or it is an explosive-proof bed, I'm not quite sure.
Jeez, imagine that.
Imagine
Kevlar.
needing one.
Kevlar on the bottom of the bed to make sure you're all good. But for now, a nice early sweep coming through from August.
Attackers dropped into
Due diligence is one of the key words. We do see August being quite structured, don't we?
Yeah, well, I really feel like August are probably taking this a bit too slowly. Half the rounds already expired, and you know, they've only just taken 90. We see the C4 getting tossed from below. Neofighter. Obviously, great cinematic view to that one.
Quite a lot of attention as well on that bottom
attackers
floor.
dropped the bomb diffuser.
Thing is, right, they're not really ready to go for the execute just yet, and we're almost hitting that 1 minute mark. You want to kind of be ready to execute at about the minute mark, or at least starting to get ready for it.
Now we're going to see a little bit more of the progression through 90. Here's Worthy's holding tight on the pixel angle though. Swings wide. Doesn't actually fall down there, but Thumbnail with a nice little line straight through the drone hole. Does take Neo Fighter down to half, but I don't think that's really enough. He'll get away.
Auglis are in a position where they should be executing, but there's these kind of little obstacles that are in their way that they need to get past now.
Fighter. Oh, look at that from Wayman. Still on that lower side. Just keeping Ethan at bay for now. Ethan's happy to wait, so they're happy to let him stay there and actually ensure that those members can take that site. Derp takes down Wayman as now they can start to put a little bit more pressure. 20 seconds left. You can feel like Auglis is turning up the heat a little bit more. Ethan coming back around, but that is going to be Thumbnail and OG finding one frag apiece. Emo Rin's just going to go blasting through 90, try and make some space for the rest of Auglis. Diesel, what can he get done in this situation? Leb goes huge. Diesel has to come back through, and there's just way too many angles being held. A very successful round for Rhythm on the defensive side.
Yeah, there we go. Finally, they looked good, right? Or more of Auglis didn't know what to do with the defense that was set up.
Yep.
And it does just show the difference between, you know, oh, that was nice.
Very crisp.
It shows that, you know, on defense you can play a lot more static, whereas on attack you need to be making decisions and working as a team, and that can be so hard for unexpected or unplanned for things.
I guess that can be a real pain in the backside, can't it? You know, like you do, time is such a valuable thing, and when you do let it tick already past down toward that 2-minute mark, and where, you know, you've got a minute left to attack and you haven't really gained enough space, you know, you've still got the Thatcher, you've still got the Thermite up, but they just weren't allowed to do anything whatsoever. And it's very, it's a nice start for Rhythm. This is where they can start to get the ball rolling a little bit more, but again, when we head to, you know, the second site, the third site, then it starts to get a little bit more complicated for Rhythm, and maybe that's where we see the faults come through, but that's okay. OJ and Leb, they're off the donuts.
Yeah, they got 4 out of 5 kills in that previous round.
That's what we needed to see, actually. I needed some light for them.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
So I believe, actually, I didn't spot where we're going there.
It's
downstairs.
Dining.
Yeah, so bringing in the pulse like we actually saw Auglis on that first round as well. Will we see the 3 C4s? Highly doubt it, but one can hope, one can dream.
It's one of those things of, like, if you know there's a possibility of being C4'd through the floor, you need to stay as far away from your teammates as possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you really do need to try and stay spread. Give them a little bit of a hindrance making their way for the cheeky little vert plays. But now, obviously action phase underway. Auglis, will we see them take a little bit more time, or will they try to speed things up a little bit more this round, Monkey?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, you can't just speed things up and, sorry, not account for everything. You know, you gotta, if you're gonna speed things up, you also got to do everything faster.
Bomb located by attackers.
Gather that information. Send someone out for the peak. Emo Rin.
Jeez.
Just missing that angle there. Is Worthy will find Neofighter, however, as they're making their way on in, and players are falling like flies on the side of Auglis. All up to Ethan. He's found one. He's found 2. He's found 3.
My word.
Suddenly, this is looking possible, but no. No, going to be shut down there at the end. Was that by Leb? I didn't quite see.
I'm not entirely sure, but Ethan, what a triumphant effort there toward the end. Just can't get over the line with that. What would have been the 4th kill. A 1v5 looking pretty damn possible on the Ash.
Now, who looks lost? Right, Auglis do.
Yep. Yeah, that was literally just thrown into the meat grinder there, minced into tonight's dinner, I think.
It's like they don't know how they want to attack it, do they?
They sped that up just.
Yeah, but
the dial just went.
There's a difference between speeding things up and, you know, just yeeting in through the pantry door, right? Like, it's.
Yeah, there wasn't. It didn't seem like there was a lot of information being gathered from Auglis there as they made their way in. They were still unsure of where half the players were. Obviously, one of the Emo Rim was it that spotted the Maestro at the back site. But
yeah.
You know, you're expecting that already. You're expecting the Maestro to be anchoring on the site. So that's nothing new. But yeah, they just went in blind. D_Stroid.
I am Not quite sure why or what they were planning. Like, of course, sometimes you can kind of take that surprise kind of element and like, oh, they're not going to expect us to do this incredibly stupid thing. But then you remember why it was incredibly stupid, right?
Yes. You get the rude awakening after being caught out.
The thing is, sometimes it does work, and that's infuriating.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah, when you rush in and there's no real method to the madness, it's just a straight up rush. The speed's being picked up and you're getting caught out. It can obviously cause a lot of problems. And that, talk about tilting so much. It is something that really does play a huge effect. The mental game, especially at LAN, especially when you're literally right across from the other team, it can play a huge part in this. So who knows? Maybe Rhythm claw this back.
Yeah, it's definitely potential. Like, yeah, and something like the guys on Rhythm, I feel like you also have that thing of where you're right next to your teammates, so that you are going to be connecting with them.
It does bring another.
Yeah, there we go.
It does bring another level of camaraderie, doesn't it? It gives a bit more mateship, a bit more companionship.
Yeah.
Companionship. Yeah, you know what? You're my companion. Fair
And
enough.
look at the player reactions now, right? We can see. Rhythm taking it a lot more relaxed. They're laughing, they're joking, whereas August, they look a bit strung up now, don't they?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a bit of a contrast to the start of the map.
Jeez, who's that good-looking bloke? Oh wait, it's Ethan.
Ethan, yeah, he's a tradie. Of course, he's a good-looking bloke.
Stereotype.
Hey,
So true. He's a unit.
he's a unit.
Standing next to him, like I feel like a small boy.
You feel like
He's like his shoulders are just like broad.
it's like, yeah, he's got guns.
So yeah, like the worst part about that. Let's get off that topic for a second.
All right.
The worst part about that, like that's the second. That's the second site where I thought maybe there might be a little bit of woes to come through from Rhythm rather than Auglis. Now we head to Trophy and Statue. Do you think it's possible that we see 3 rounds straight and that Rhythm actually bring themselves into this? Because it's, again, hauling yourself back into this game. It is a bit of an effort. It's a mountain to climb.
Look, it's possible, but as I said at the start, or as I said, in general, in this match, if Rhythm win it, it's going to be because August are losing it. And right now, they are playing horrendously on attack.
Attacking, defensing.
Defensing.
Defensive?
It works.
On the defensive. That is where Rhythm are right now. But we are unfortunately met with another tech pause, a bit of an issue going on with the PC, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to quickly throw to a break, but on the other side, we'll be back with some more hot fire action.
When facing your own kind, your skills alone are not enough. True warriors know when the smoke clears, they will be the last one standing. Target down! Go! Target spotted! Steady. But in the heat of the battle... Shit. I'll take care of it. It's only by working as a team that you can rise. It wasn't easy, but I've been at ease. Gotcha. All of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please, I need you. It's time to prove who the best of the best really is. Are you ready, ghosts?
Found him. Take him. I'll cover you.
He's going into stasis.
Contact! Head to the extraction point!
And we're back after a small little tech pause. Ladies and gentlemen, do not fret. We are ready to get underway, of course, with August taking on Rhythm. So far, so good for Rhythm, who have seen quite a lot of success on the defensive side.
Yeah, so far so good for Rhythm. The August have looked completely lost on their attack. They had a 5-1 half when they were on defense, but now they're looking like now they're looking like the David against the Goliath, aren't they, on this half?
Yeah, it almost feels like it. Feels like they got the number picked there, Rhythm. So whether they're going to be able to continue that, of course, after I guess breaks can actually give you, time to meld things over and work on it, but it can also be a bit of a deterrence.
Yeah, look, I think if you'd ask most players, they would say, I'd rather just play non-stop rather than pause for a bit,
No, 100%. You got to play through. When you got the momentum, when it's swinging in your favour, take it and run. Pummel them into the ground and stomp them out like a fire.
All right.
Sorry, that got a little bit violent toward the end there, but it's it is a good opportunity. Rhythm are starting to figure out a little bit more as to the maybe not so much figuring out more, just more so than feeling comfortable on defense. So it's pretty much on to Auglis here, isn't it? It's all weight on their shoulders. Their attacking side has to improve. They have to take this to Rhythm and unsettle them. But you can see, like you were saying, just the complete polar opposite attitude that we saw from before.
It's startling, isn't it? It's not what I really expected to see here. Ethan. Unit.
Come on.
Looking ready.
Give us a smile.
He's such a serious player.
Yeah, he is.
The thing is, right, he can get triggered so easily as well by the game. He,
Bit of a death slammer, is he?
Oh, yeah. I don't really think he slams the desk. It's just he can get upset, and I don't think it really manifests, but he can get upset.
No, it's easy to, especially on land as well. Like I was saying, it does really bring a whole other element to it. One, seeing the opponents right across from you, and two, when you want to slap your teammates for doing something stupid, they're right there. Like, you can literally just reach across the desk and you
give them a love tap if you want.
That's what it is, though. Sometimes you know what it's like.
Right,
You're
there's
in the
a
game
smile. There's a smile.
Cracking one. There we go. Find it. Someone's giving him some love out in the crowd.
Cracking wise.
Getting the old thumbs up. Yeah, the boys.
Oh, but how good is this trophy, though, right?
Oh, it is massive. Like, people might not know how big that is at home. That thing is huge.
What were we told? 20 kilograms?
Yeah, 21 kilograms.
Jesus.
That entire thing. So that's some weight behind it. That's a big boy trophy. That's for sure. See, along with as well 20 grand, I guess. It's just some money
20
in your
kilo
pocket.
trophy and 20 grand.
And that's just for the first place. My God, just tapers away from there, but. Just so crisp, so clean.
I just love how it matches into the logo. Do you see that previous shot?
Yeah, that was unreal. It looked like a shadow almost. Yeah, that was looking really good.
Yeah,
good job, camera bloke.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Got to give the credit where the credit's due.
No, that was all us.
Yeah, no, that was definitely all. They definitely didn't mean to do that. We only noticed it. It was a bit of fun. A bit of fun.
Could have been the director as well.
Because probably the director's choice there, so good on you, big fella. But they are slowly but surely prepping for war, as this is single elim. You lose, you're out. So, we're sitting here having a jolly good old time, having a bit of a laugh. You can see the smiles on the faces, but at the end of the day, it's do or die every single match that you play, and it's so critical right now. I can't stress this enough. Rhythm have to take Villa. There is, I cannot see a world in which they walk away with coastline.
Yeah, and I have to agree, right?
Yeah,
4 times we saw Auglis play coastline through the season, and 4 times they walked away with a victory.
Yep.
Attackers need to locate
And again,
defuse
some of these victories that we're seeing from Auglis are just so dominant, so dominant. And it's can definitely play a nasty little part in the mentality. So, I really think right now, Rhythm, they need the room to breathe on coastline. They need to not be stressing when, Auglis come out absolutely swinging. It's...
Yeah, I want to see, are we going to see this change from Auglis though? We've seen AVG and Dining attacks from Auglis where they looked woeful. Right, there's no nice way to put it. It was
let him know what you really think.
They looked woeful.
Yeah, it was not the Auglis that we know, and the Auglis that we've come to love as well. It was bit disappointing.
You know, one thing we did touch on in the pre-show, that this is, you know, the first competitive match that August have played in, what, a month and a half?
Yep. Yeah, since that Cyclops matchup that they had for the Rowley Major, that was the last time.
Yeah. So, you know, they could be coming out cold or they could be coming out rested, and their attacks definitely looked pretty janky, so... you know, maybe that's the result from that extended break they've had.
I got a chance to chat with Silex as well right before the game.
Yep.
And they're feeling like they're feeling definitely confident. You know, you're coming into a series where you're literally versing the bottom-seeded team in the tournament.
Yeah.
There should realistically be no real pressure, but yet Rhythm are doing a good job at least keeping the finger on the pulse. You know, keeping them alive for now.
I'm interested about this August operator selection, right? We got the Nomad, we got the Dokebi, we got the Maverick. I suppose that's not too surprising, but it just seems like a bit of a strange one overall.
Bit of a mix.
Yeah.
Mixed bags of lollies, thanks. So, here we go. We'll be seeing early control. Well, actually, Diesel's just completely legged it on. So that's fair enough. Thought maybe he was going to hang around for a moment longer, but wanted nothing of it, so...
You know, they've cleared this underneath area, so they don't have to worry about those C4s for the floor. So at least they're doing their due diligence.
You hate that word,
I
don't
do.
you?
Neo Fighter to kick things off in the frag onto OJ. He's going to see the impact come out to destroy the Maestro camera. Looks like Astronomy is pretty fairly in August's hands. Neo Fighter, he is straight popping heads right now. Rhythm have no response.
No, they've completely been bullied out of the site there. They've pretty much lost all control of Astronomy and nearing on losing the rest of the site there. It's Lebdit's got to try and hold all on his lonesome as they continue to lose players. Thumbnail doing a good job at keeping the pressure up. Imarin does fall down, but the second Leb shows his face. It's Diesel to pick up, Derp to respond. And that's going to be the 6th round on the board for August.
Solix getting in there with the chair slaps.
That's it. That's it. Well, you know, it's the no better time to get up and around the players. And, you know, Silex has been quite a big member for August throughout all their recent victories as well.
That was nice, wasn't it? But
nice.
That was much better from August.
Yep. Yep.
They had direction. It was, of course, kick-started from just 2 quick opening kills from Neo Fighter, and he just popped those heads, didn't he?
But I guess, you know, you look at it, and that round in Dining could have completely gone the way of August as well in that situation. You know, you said there 2 very quick openings, and just like that, bam, bam, they've got control of Astronomy. They're taking even further control. Every line's pretty much being held. There is a world in which in that second round, if they find the opening, all of a sudden, open space, they push in, there's not so many lines being held, they don't have to worry about certain positions, and life becomes a little bit easier. But this time, it's literally just been alphaed out of the server, unfortunately, for Rhythm.
Alphaed out of the server.
Just deuce. Get the shoulders, give him a shoulder check,
yeah,
put him back down. It is, you know, Rhythm have a very tall mountain to climb.
6-3, that's the scoreline. 3 rounds in a row to bring it to overtime, but just one goes in the hands of August.
Yep.
And we're heading to Coastline.
That's the problem, isn't it? When you come out of a 5-1 half, you can get a little bit of momentum, but the second August find themselves an attacking round, all of a sudden, all that pressure that was being put on August from those rounds coming through from Rhythm, you know, looking good, have just been completely flipped on their head, and all of a sudden, they're back on the defense. They're back on the back foot. But AVG, hopefully this will be successful for the defending side.
Yeah, for Rhythm, I'm hoping they can pull something off here.
Yep.
Otherwise, you know, I know there's still another map, but I think it might be good night at that point.
Yep. Old left, right, good night. Hate to see it.
Yeah, you do. But as we said, AVG was very successful for them, and it wasn't successful because August just threw their lives away trying to rush in, right? It was a great hold.
Yep.
They, August were quite stumped at a few of the obstacles that Rhythm were putting up, and you know, they won that one on their merit.
So Rhythm are definitely in need of not just 1 round, but 3, and that's only to send it to OT at this point, with August sitting pretty comfortable You could see right toward the end of that last tech pause, they were starting to get a bit of a smirk back in. They were starting to get a little bit of fun and joy being brought back in. And
I think the one way I want to describe Rhythm is cheeky.
cheeky. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Could concur on that one.
Could concur.
I was going to say can concur, but that's a bit of a...
Well, when you say could, it's more of like you're thinking you're not sure if you agree, but that's something you could say.
I might concur with that.
Yeah, might concur.
Rightio, what are we realistically going to be seeing from Rhythm? They don't need to change anything up from their previous defense.
Well, they don't have that deployable shield in the Jaeger in the 90 hallway anymore, at least as far as I could see. In fact, they don't have a Jaeger, so, you know, that's definitely not going to happen.
A lot of intel gathering, though. 3 of the members, of course, on Rhythm, being Valk, Mozzie, and Maestro, giving them a lot more room to wiggle. A lot more information to be transferred, consumed however they wish.
Ethan looks like he's going to be trying to make his way in downstairs. He's got Worthy and Wayne Man to worry about, however. In fact, he's just going to sit on his drone and wait for that perfect time.
Here it comes. Derp starts to make his way back through, and again we see that north to south sweep. And just ensuring that there are no cheeky flanks. Derp, of course, deploying the gadget.
Sounds like that window's been opened up. I can hear them talking about that very loudly on stage. They are right next to us.
MEO fighter looking to hold the little bit more of an aggressive line on the Claymore, obviously giving them a little bit of support. Now they're going to look to maybe put a bit more pressure here. This could be the execute that completely debunks Rhythm.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh wow, that was as close as you like it.
Well, either way, it's going to be Rhythm coming out on top of this whole engagement. Oh, going to see the position there, and Neofighter will land that headshot, putting us into a 3-on-3 with 40 seconds to go. Have to try and make their way on into the bomb site here, August.
Yeah, nice little buddy system being used by Imorin. Does obviously allow Neo to find the free frag as he's completely caught out. Is Worthy not even holding on side out towards Study, so bit of a retake needed on the inside. Now starting to make their way through. Neofighter, they will be sticking this. Diffuser will be going down. Can the C4 be enough? It's not going to be close enough on to actually stop the defusal. Oh. My word, Imorin finds 2. Was that through the wall? I'm not even entirely sure, but is Worthy now has to bring this back from a 1 versus 2. Lets the C4 out early. The flash there to try and push him back off the line. He needs to make this work. It's everything for Rhythm. It's the first map. It's their map pick, and it's falling out of their hands. Is Worthy. What can he really get done here? Look how far away they are. Auglis take that one comfortably toward the end, but Rhythm, they gave him a fair decent shot at the start of that second half.
They 100% did, right? But we have to look at the 3 rounds that they did manage to pick up, and it was kind of rounds that you'd expect Auglis to win. There's maybe one where I'd say that it was one off of Rhythm's merit.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. Auglis, you know, this is what we expected from Auglis. This is what we came here wanting to see from Auglis. 7-3, I believe the end result was. So, you know, that's a very kind of clean win from them, even regardless of the start of that second half.
It does make me a little bit worried, though, for Rhythm, because coming into this match, as you mentioned, Auglis was definitely the favoured team. But looking at the ban phase, I definitely saw some stroke of hope for Rhythm, and it all relied on them taking Villa. Not seeing that happen, well, it makes it a bit darker days.
You know, we were right at the start, saw Villa come out. Obviously, it is a bit of a dark horse for both of the teams. You know, we haven't really seen enough of the gameplay from them in the competitive area. So it was possible for Rhythm to pull something out of, I don't want to say the rabbit out of the hat, but it almost had to be, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's such a tough position for him to be in.
A rabbit out of the hat. I don't think that's a bad way of describing it, really. They had their hands full playing Auglis at all, and Villa was a map that they lost the only time they played it in the Six Masters. What we haven't seen is much of Auglis on it, other than 1 win for them. So, you know, little numbers that can, you know, be changed. What you can't change is the fact you're playing Coastline next, and Rhythm really needed to go 1-0 up here before Coastline turns up.
Yeah, I think that the reason why Rhythm wanted to take August to Villa in the first place was the fact that they saw how mortal August were on Villa against Cyclops at the Raleigh Major qualifier, the APAC qualifier. But let's be honest here, Rhythm aren't Cyclops. They don't have that same level of aggression, and they didn't put August into that position where they felt scared. They felt on the back foot. And that was what allowed August to really bounce back. We saw some good rounds out of Rhythm. I don't know if there was any huge highlight moments, but I think this is just an August game.
Definitely the individual strength from Rhythm were, got them across the line in 1 or 2 rounds. And, we touched on that during that game, obviously. You can't rely on that for anything more than the map, maybe even just a couple of rounds. The individual prowess, yes, that can come through. Yes, that can really find yourselves maybe a bit of breathing room. But after that, it has to come back to the team game.
Yeah, and two of the rounds that we saw Rhythm pick up on defense was August just looking completely lost on their attacks.
Yeah, they were a little bit disgruntled, I think.
So, I mean, there's an interesting thing for other teams to look at here, because all the teams are with us at the Melbourne Esports Open, and the other teams are watching the game which is happening right now. Remember, the rest of the quarterfinals, they're all coming to you tomorrow, and we start early. We've got a lot of that to get through. So the other teams are watching this. What I could see from this when it started up was Rhythm looking actually like they were enjoying themselves on stage. They looked like that team we thought of, again, we'll say it, nothing to lose. So they're here to, not just to enjoy themselves, they're here because they want to win this thing, but they're going to give this a go. If your other team's watching it, you're now expecting August, obviously, to make it through. It's best of 3. They're 1-0 up. But there's cracks. There's little things to take advantage of, and that's going to encourage other teams.
Yeah, I'd say that is exactly what we were talking about earlier. They are coming into this pretty cold from the break.
Yep.
And are they going to be able to get straight back to that top performing level we've seen them at?
Might take them a little bit while to get back into it. I thought that maybe we'd see Rhythm take an early lead on Villa if they weren't in their comfort zone, but eventually come back. I was predicting a 2-0 here. Looks like that's still going to be the case. But as you were mentioning, Matt, looking at the other teams at the event who are watching on here, I'm not going to lie. I was back there sitting with the players, and I heard rumblings about, this team's attack, la, la, la. And those two, dumbfounded rounds where we saw August drop on their attacks, that's something that the other teams are very much aware of, and they'll be looking with hungry eyes heading into the semifinals, if August do even get that far.
Yeah, well, at this point, it definitely looks confirmed. I mean, I don't know about you, but the semi-final
You can't call it until it's over, all right,
No, you can't, but it's my job to just kind of say, you know what, I think it might be at this point. We go to Coastline. I love, giving the kind of prediction for them to be broken, but at this point, just with Coastline coming up, we've seen how strong they are on this map. I have very little hope at this point.
We'll get to it really soon. It's going to come up after this short break. Coastline will be map 2 of quarterfinal number 1 here at the Six Masters. our first map of the entire Six Masters final weekend has happened, and Villa went 7-3 to the hands of Auglis. So Rhythm have got a mountain to climb now, because the second map of this best of 3 is Coastline, and that is deadly if you are that team Auglis. 4 out of 4 wins during the Six Masters season. Rhythm didn't ban it. Now they could have done, we had the bans first of course, they could have just banned it out of all the maps that Auglis are playing. We know that's the one that at least the numbers are scary about. That's the one they played the most, and they were undefeated on all of their maps. But 4 wins out of 4 on Coastline. Rhythm didn't ban it. They're not target banning. They came here just to play their game. Now they've got to deal with it.
And coming into this game, I mean, if you look at the whole season for Auglis, they didn't actually drop a map throughout all 10 playdays. All of those playdays, they didn't drop a single map, and it just happens to be Coastline is the one that they consistently played. You know, if they have a 100% win rate in all their maps from this season, it's just that Coastline was the one that often got through the ban phase. I'm sure that was deliberate on their part.
Yeah, it's one of their favourite maps to play, and it is one of their best maps to play. The stats don't lie. I suppose, you know, if we want to throw back to that ban phase, maybe if Rhythm did ban it, they would have had Consulate banned by Auglis, because that's a map that they did not play at all either.
Yeah, you know, like when you do look at Coastline, I mean, you know, we can kind of speculate when it comes to the veto, but when you look at Coastline, we've also seen some very good results. You know, back when we look at the APAC games at the Raleigh Major, rather the APAC qualifier for the Raleigh Major, they did really well against Cyclops. You know, like they put on a really good performance.
Yeah, Auglis have been practicing and engineering new strategies on Coastline for a while, something I love to see, and this is by no means exclusively done by Auglis, but they defend Kitchen downstairs, they open up all of the wall at the bottom at ankle height and all of the wall at the top, and they turn Kitchen into a kill box. I love that strategy. It's something they've worked on locally, and it works. Something they've done at an APAC level as well, and it does work against some of the best teams from the Asia Pacific.
Yeah, not just, you know, we're seeing it, you know, also in other regions around the world. And yeah, it's great.
Well, you're either going to see a team who really know how to play Coastline or a massive upset. So strap in. Map number 2 is with us. Auglis can go to the semi-finals now, and Rhythm have to win this to stop them.
So we could see Auglis technically have a day off tomorrow. You know, you look at this, and this is actually a pretty important match for Auglis to be able to sit there and watch the matches as they unfold tomorrow and kind of, you know, prepare for what will be the semi-finals on Sunday. You've got to keep in mind, semi-finals and grand final both on the Sunday. So this is vital right now that Auglis can close this one out, and the sooner the better for them. That means they get even more rest. That means that they can even prepare further than what they might have been able to. Hello?
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 Hello.
Twitch boy.
That's an interesting ban coming out from Auglis. I wonder if that's more of a target ban against one of the Rhythm players.
Could well be.
I think Worthy plays a bit of Twitch.
Could well be, actually. I'm going to scour through my notes to see if that is something that we've seen targeted. But Echo and Mirror. Now, both of those, that's kind of just a throwaway. We see them banned pretty much in nearly every single map.
Same on the previous map, it was the Mirror and Echo combo.
And we've seen the Jackal being banned on Coastline quite a bit as well, so that's no real surprise. But just the Twitch, bit of a head scratcher in that one. So we will be seeing the defensive side go toward the side of Rhythm.
Starting off in bars as well. It's a bit of a surprise.
Shock horror. I feel... Fair enough. We're seeing some interesting things come. I mean, for Rhythm, you could also kind of look at that and say spanner in the works. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can upset, because knowing full well the power, the kind of caliber of player and strats that Auglis have on their attacking side, maybe it might throw them off enough. But even then, I still doubt it.
Yeah, definitely going to be rather interesting. As for the attacking operators, as we see, Coastline played a lot these days. No hard reach, not really required.
It's such a, you know, you've just got so many different opportunities to open up, and sometimes you don't need them to be opened up, right?
It's just such a unique thing, isn't it, for one map? It's like the only map that's played without a hard breacher consistently.
No, I was hoping we might get a smiley face there from Carl now, but he's here to play. Not messing around, not just yet, but Making some nice little bullet holes, melee holes, maybe trying to bait out August into Ward Kitchen.
They're called sweat holes.
Sweat holes. I love that. That's
Because every time you die to one, it's frustrating, isn't it? But
it's actually, that has to be one of the most tilting things.
yeah,
Just,
you're just like, oh, the sweat on the other team.
you're waiting for the kill cam to come through and you just see just the tiny little bullet hole.
Oh, monitors get broken, I tell ya.
Stop the desk abuse. Hashtag stop the desk abuse 2019. We're here to say no more.
No more.
No more sweat. But I guess for now, August, they don't need to sweat at all. This is a favoured map, a comfortable map. It almost feels like they're home for Six Masters. So,
Oh, yeah. The home ground.
yeah, the MCG, if you will, for August at this point.
The Melbourne August, is
yeah,
it?
yeah, the Melbourne August.
Well,
Cheeky Melbourne plug.
first round so far, we've just seen some pretty slow clearing. In fact, Leb will find the first kill under Neo.
That's the IQ down as well. That could be a little bit frustrating. I don't know whether we saw really the IQ of being able to destroy any of those electronic gadgets, but he's Worthy coming in with another as well. August not off to the best start. Still 3 players remaining. A lot of firepower in those 3 players as well. You've got Capit.
All right.
Okay, you don't have Capitao anymore, but still, you don't really want to be counting out Derp nor Emo, but this is looking really good from Rhythm.
This is one of those times where we go, well, we handed the right script here.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it almost feels like August, they've switched sides because, one, we go to Bar, which we don't see a hell of a lot of in the ANZ region.
August like the only team that do that.
And then 2, we see 3 quick frags like that from from Rhythm rather. That's down to a minute, and August just have to try and fight their way through this. They are going to be able to find the gaps. They can't, however, crawl in. Much as they do try, and, well, Wayne Man's waiting for it. And OJ, nicely done. Well, that is a way to start. A statement to be made by Rhythm, that's for sure.
And I don't really know what August are doing there. It seemed like they were fishing the barrel that Rhythm were allowed to shoot. There was no coordination, very little attempts at refragging, if at all. Right, and it just seemed like they all just got picked off one by one.
Yep. Yeah, we saw, I think it was like 3 of the kills were off cam, so we don't even, weren't even able to see how they died because it's just, so unexpected at that point. And just a start like that, just to get the pure start that Rhythm were hoping for. That is the dream right there, because now they can go to hookah, now they can go to the billiards, maybe cause even more of a problem. Do you see smoke? No. Mute just being 6-pick. Mute. Why not? Hide it. See what they give. But a hard breach now, Monkey. Interesting.
Yes, bringing out the Habana, and I suppose they are playing on the hookah. Attacking hookah, and you can definitely sometimes want to open up this wall that we can see Worthy and OJ reinforcing one right now, the one behind the bar there, in the billiards room. Or you can also see any reinforcements up between the 2 bomb sites that someone's hiding behind. You can try and get a Rio in there to be taken on down.
How successful can we be for Rhythm? Can we go 2 from 2 right now? Because they are going to need that come the attacking side. Realistically, Monkey, do you have a certain set, sometimes as commentators we have a set mark in which we're like, right, if Rhythm want to take this map, they have to get set amount of rounds. Do you have any kind of indication as to what that might be on the defensive side? 6-0?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was going to say 7 until you said on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Bit of a smart-ass moment, I suppose. On defensive side, I'd say, if you want to take it, 4 at the least. 5 or 6 to be comfortable. All right, 5 to be, all right, you're looking good. 6 to be comfortable.
I concur with that completely. Not I could, I do. Because, for Rhythm to change to that attacking side when we know how strong August's defense is, they do need so much room to wiggle. They just need the opportunity to be able to bring it back. Maybe they can adapt.
Yeah. Well, I can hear those comms for Rhythm, and it sounds like they're having a little bit of an argument here. I think there's something about a rotate hole. I don't know. I'm not going to listen in too much. I can't hear heaps well. But maybe the pressure's starting to get to them here, Manic.
Certainly could be. Down the map, single elim. They don't have another chance after this if they can't pull away with Coastline. So the pressure would definitely be mounting. There is a lot on the line. You know, you think about not only just the prize pool, the bragging rights.
Yeah.
The old big trophy that they've brought in.
Oh,
massive.
there we go.
Derp, and nicely done. Minute 20. There's the first kill off the board. It's the Legion as well.
Yeah, well, Thumbnail's going to have to try and make his way out of office here, or he's just going to sit here, but he's not going to want to stick here for too long, especially when someone's belting right for the door behind him, and there's going to be Diesel just pushing up and finding the frag. Auglis looking a lot better in this one here, Manic.
Yeah, completely pinched in. They've done really well to eliminate both of those lurkers that were being quite the pain in the backside to begin with, but no more. They now have plenty of time left on the clock. 45 seconds as it starts to tick a little bit more. Ethan's going to be able to find the kill on towards Leb from underneath with the buck. And OJ just not going to find the timing that he needed. He needs to actually find a quick frag. He needs to give himself the room to play with this. Wayne Man might actually alleviate some of the pressure from Blue Stairs, but will it be enough? He is going to push aggressively. Neophyter's waiting. OJ gets traded out. And a much nicer round to come through from Auglis.
Yeah, one that's going to result in them getting the victory on that round. One player dropping in the end there, I believe. But, you know, Auglis looking quite strong in that one. That long-range angle there by Derpe. Oh, still call him Derpe.
Yeah, it's still a salty one.
He gave me that look.
Poor Derpe. Oh, sorry. Kitchen service. Down we go. We're not going to see the penthouse being defended, but penthouse is actually something we don't really see defended a lot.
It's something we see more in ANZ than any other region. That's for sure, or at least I'm going to confidently say it, whether I'm right or wrong. I'm pretty confident on that one.
I'll just sometimes we just got to do it. Just the confidence just peaking. But regardless, with Kitchen now being defended by Rhythm, it won't be giving Auglis another opportunity at that upper site back in towards Hookah. And, you know, like, how many times do we discuss something like this where it's, you know, the fool me once, fool me twice, all that kind of stuff that goes on? Because, you know, repeating sites and not getting the result you want is devastating.
Look, one thing I swear I've been seeing lately, whether I'm, you know, it's just a figment of my imagination or not, but it seems like that teams will always change bomb site they're defending whether they win or lose it. But, you know, I haven't looked too far into it, but as a casual viewer watching Raleigh, I swear that's what G2 were doing. No matter if they won or lost, they'd change the bomb site.
Well, the thing is, like, it's, you know, repetition can be key in some certain form, but at the same time, like, you don't really want to drive yourself mad just trying to force yourself into a site. Especially at a certain level when you know that you can confidently play at least 3 of the sites well, and maybe the last site is a bit of a gimmick if you maybe pull it off, but MEO Rim with the side down rappel looking for that angle. Can be quite nasty as well with the point of view.
Oh, infamous upside down rappel, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is just, you just got to understand perspective. Like, sometimes people can see your legs and you can't see their head. That's just how perspective and angles works.
Yeah. Can't always have it perfect. Can't have your cake and eat it too. Sometimes you just got to take one without the other. But now it looks like Wayman is the only one on site. I believe there's one in toward bathroom. MEO Rim's just waiting for the leg. The one to go sprinting on out.
There's always some guy that's going to do it in a desperate last-ditch effort. Well, it seems like Auglis taking this very slow, aren't they?
A bomb has been located.
Yeah,
Man,
it has been a bit of a a consistent key. You know, we've
slow
seen,
burn, isn't it?
Yeah, they really are just trying to find the picks that they need, but also, you know, with that, again, I know you hate the word due diligence, but doing, you know, taking their time and actually clearing top to bottom, left to right, right to left, whatever it is, it really does help you in the long run here. Whether or not, though, it's going to help in this round could actually hinder them more than help.
I think part of the things that's slowing them down so much is the Mozzie. They're not quite sure if Penthouse is clear here. Oh, sorry, Theatre is clear.
Device planted.
Derp's already made his way in toward the Sunrise bar, giving the room for Thumbnail. On the other side of the site to push into blue and just try to pinch. Does have one in kitchen that's holding them down right now. This could be a real worry if he can get onto the angle and actually find that kill, because he's not going to be expecting it. He's actually flanked all the way around, and just at the last second, Thumbnail gets caught out. The shots are coming through. Has he been able to hold him? That's the real question right now. You can see picking up the pace. There's only 15 seconds left. Emo Rin does find OJ. Derp does fall, however, in a bit of a short bout. There's only 5 seconds left. They need to make this work. Nice line being held from Emo Rin there. With only one remaining, they just make it work. Orgless by the skin of their teeth. They walk away with that one.
That round almost went belly up, didn't it?
Yep, certainly did, Monkey. Certainly did.
As I said, they were taking way too long. That Mozzie must have really been denying them being able to drone out the theatre.
That right through in towards Sunrise. Gives them the access that they need.
It was a big Emo Rin round as well, wasn't it?
Yep. Quite a
large Emo Rin round.
Might even hit it with an extra large.
Extra large?
Maybe a double X. Nah, we'll stop there at double X. Big enough for the one round anyway. We'll give him some more props later.
Back to Hookah though. Even though bar's available.
Yeah, was it a gimmick round? Was it just a? Obviously, they're going to feel comfortable to an extent, but if bars are open once more, they head back to Hookah.
And it's the only bomb site they won.
Bit of a head scratcher. I know, I hate pointing it out. Another donut in the server.
It's 3 rounds.
Hey, I love it. I love it.
At least it's not a whole half.
Yeah, that's very true. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the old donut. So, yeah, not really seeing too much different from Rhythm. They do, however, on Orgless, swap out the IQ as that 6th pick from, I believe it was the Thatcher. Just giving them some denial at the very least, but he's not going to do it, is he?
Spawn peek.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse.
Maybe.
Looked like there were 2 spawn peeking at that. There was Leb as well, hoping that someone was coming.
I think he's waiting for it to be checked, and then he's going to open it.
That could have been some good timing, but he's droned out anyway. So again, just the mere presence of him being in towards Sunrise now ensures that Orgless have to completely clear it no matter what happens from here on out.
Yeah, got to make sure there is no, sneaky little cheeky opponent to worry about.
And he's sticking around, actually. He's worthy. What kind of damage can he do? He's got the Goon Mine there as well, and wowzers, that's pretty ambitious, but it might actually work out here, Monkey. This could be huge. He might be able to find the one, but should be instantly traded. No, not even enough for the one. That could have been devastating, though.
Yeah, very close. Just had to hit the shots, and we'd be looking at a 4-3 right now, but unfortunately missed. And, it's all 5 members of Orgless up, and Rhythm are missing 2 of theirs.
MEO Fighter stuck in kitchen there. Leb's been able to hear that Goon Mine go off, so information being swapped across. By the way, this is playing with fire, but I don't think Leb's really got the way out there. It's not MEO Fighter, just actually persisting to take that fight, holding the line, and buying enough time to actually cause somewhat of a problem, but Diesel's coming around from the backside, so this should be a pretty easy and confirmed.
He gave his presence away, but still lands the headshot.
He does.
Sorry to cut you off there.
No, not at all.
OJ, you think you'd be able to land this shot, but is the timing just off here?
Once again, look at this. A 2 versus 5 they're going to have to come back from here. Wayman will be... Oh, my...
Oh, no.
and you hate to see it. So OJ is going to have to take on all 4 members as Neo's still down at this point in time. Actually back up, and Nevin doesn't even matter. Not at the end of the day. They are absolutely laughing.
Look, it's a rough position to be in, but, you know, no surprises when it falls to pieces in his hands. Falls apart before he can get going.
Yeah, it's not looking all that great from Rhythm now. After that first round, I had the hope for them. It was looking positive, but it's all but negative now. It's completely flipped on its head. Do we see them head back in toward the bars where they saw so much success? You know, 3 quick frags.
Looks like it.
Just like that, and they were able to open things up. They also had the alibi, so this looks promising. This might be what we're looking to crack open that egg and ensure a second round.
Well, as for operator selection, yes, as you said, that alibi is coming back on out. I think Worthy got 1 kill on the alibi in the first round.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Maybe.
Maybe.
No, definitely.
Me.
It was the one, and I can't remember whether there was a second. Like, I literally just bamboozled at that, but definitely the one was good for.
I remember seeing the MX4 Storm weapon in the kill feed, so.
Glorious. Don't want a bit of an alibi, main.
Oh, yeah. It's... I always find, right, the best thing to do with alibi is when you're having fun. And toss out a clone, get them to shoot it, and then jump in the clone and see how long you can hide there for, pretending to be it. It doesn't work that much.
No, I was gonna say that would be such an interesting little strategy to take through. I'm gonna try that in my next little rank. But Neo, in the meantime, just a leading thumbnail.
That's the Mozzie too. How many drones have been caught? Yeah, I'm guessing not many, so he's not going to be able to leverage that. Ooh.
Oh, hello. Is Worthy again coming back through. And the alibi doing some work. And working some damn magic at that monkey.
Yeah, gets the down, gets the kill as well. Imarin had to last stand there, so he's only got 5 HP.
Has been able to spot out cheeky little Cam.
Cheeky.
Cheeky. But still 4-4, and Imarin's been taken down and revived, obviously, with the lifeline. But outside of that, does seem to be kind of swinging in the favor of Rhythm. Nice.
Look, you can breathe on Imarin and it'll probably collapse.
Problem is actually breathing on Imarin. Ethan's been able to take down Wayne Man, so once again, look at how close he is on the side. He's already pushed all the way through. They've been able to plant on the A side pretty much scot-free. Both players on the B. What is going on there? But it doesn't make a difference. Guess what? Leb's found a kill, maybe a way back into this.
Yeah, they're going to have to retake in the 3-on-3. Of course, Imarin is very lit, but they've got it all to do here.
Oh, no way. Oh, my word. That is not something you like to see. It's already been half the time. And OJ trying to find the way back through. The pre-fires aren't really paying dividends there. However, for Derp, he'll be able to find both players that were remaining. Nicely done to secure another round. That's 4 in a row. No response whatsoever from Rhythm.
That was a Route 1 round, right? August decided, all right, look, they're going to expect us to try and clear up above. They're going to expect us to try and, you know, take from the opposite side of the map. But no. They're just going to jump in through the window, get the plant down, and there was no one from Rhythm anywhere near.
No, that was the thing, right? There were like 3 players on either site, and they were just they had the free pickings. So mistakes that will need to be fixed if they want to secure the second round, because that's pretty much all they're going to be able to get. 2-4 on the defending side of Coastline. You're up against August. It's map point. It's not map point, rather. It's series point in terms of the maps. You don't have any more opportunities outside of this. Talk about backs being up against the wall.
At least they still have some smiles on their faces, though. Can't let it hit them too hard. One last defensive round. As I said to you earlier, 4 is the best they're going to have to hope for, right? But They haven't even been able to do that, have they?
Bomb located by attackers.
So not even in the realms of possibilities at that point. Still with the donut, unfortunately, but that's all right. Given the benefit of the doubt, because Auglis are incredibly good on this map, incredibly dominant as well. Again, any stats we really take from Six Masters, we can't really use too much, can we? It kind of has to be
5 seconds
taken with a grain of salt compared to the fact that they won every map,
Attackers
I
are
think.
heading out to defuse a bomb.
Every match that they played.
We might be seeing a spawn peek here from Thumbnail. He's setting up.
Bomb located
This is one
by
of the more
attackers.
common ones that we're definitely seeing, or come out more common these days, I should say. I think he's been spotted.
Oh, jeez. That gave him a nice little haircut.
Oh, yep. He's shaved arms, it looked like.
Yep, certainly was. Be lucky to get away with his life, let alone anything else. So,
I think the impressive part is he's still got 100 HP.
not even tagged, not even slightly tagged.
Yeah, bro, he's tagged for 50.
Oh, jeez, don't. No, don't start it. No. How many times?
Oh, yeah. One shot. 5 shots later.
Still struggling with it. Still struggling. Oh, my word. Ethan, nicely done. Is worthy. Out of it. That's the Mozzie gone.
That's one of those kills that, you know, Ethan's sitting back on the roof and he's like, well, I shouldn't be alive, but okay. Right? Like, I always thought, like, in one of those situations, Ethan's like, oh heck, oh heck, oh heck, I'm trying to get to the roof, and he gets like the fadeaway kill, you know?
Oh, jeez. that would have been a nice little handicap for Rhythm to take away there, but no longer.
Device in position.
Putting out all these air jabs.
Going to limit Rhythm's movement down to nearly nothing but the first floor. They've already been able to clear out much of the penthouse. And oh, that's the free kill for Ethan once more. And that's a double opening for him. And at least Derp does find something in amongst the midst there, Monkey.
Look, they are just falling apart here, Rhythm. Wayne Man, OJ going to try and hold on. But, you know, this has been the story over and over and over again. It's the 2 anchors on site. Not much of a hope in the world at all.
OJ waiting for the peak to come through, but he's been spotted by the drone, I believe. And will they fight this long angle? That's the real question.
He's got the cog for it. Maybe they just prone in through the door, and it doesn't matter if you're holding down that long angle. I'm inside. Oh, he unscopes. Unfortunate timing there, and it is up to Warm OJs. This is second 1v5 position. Can't get it. And Auglis, they are looking so mechanical right now, aren't they?
Certainly are. It's just working like logs. You know, they're just, I don't know, everything just seems to be working on coastline, and this is no surprise. I feel this is exactly what we wanted, what we expected to see coming out from what will be the front runners, at the very least in Group A, let alone the entire
this? It's
we didn't want to.
It's just like a train wreck, isn't it?
It is.
You
like
can't
you don't
take your eyes off it.
The thing is, you don't want to see it, but you do want to see it because Auglis are.
They're like poetry in motion.
Well, they are at this point, and
Yeah.
we want, but not so much want. We expect to see it. And,
Oh, yeah.
And that's just been pretty much the storyline for them so far. You know, Rhythm around here or there, maybe a lucky couple of, not lucky, I hate using the word lucky, some good shots, but
Yeah.
it's been nowhere near enough to even move them an inch.
You know, if you want to talk about that luck idea for a second, like every round that you win is a round that you've earned, whether it comes from luck or something. So,
Yeah.
you know, maybe we can think of it as, you know, every round they've won, they've earned.
Yep.
And we can say that for sure about Rhythm.
Well, it's definitely, you know, you make your own luck, right?
Yeah.
It's, you very much do. It is making your own luck at this point. So I can't see a world in which Rhythm are able to bring this back on the defense. And I'm Mr. Positive. I'm optimistic about pretty much every situation. But 5-1 down. August now head to the defensive side. Ethan's looking for a cheeky little hoo-ha, a bit of a drone. And now he's going to go for an extended peek. No. No.
Sent back inside.
This almost has to be it here, Monkey.
Yep.
They realistically they can't allow any more than just the one round that they've got to play with. And
Statistically as well as realistically.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
Otherwise it's over.
My air jab is deployed.
that's for damn sure. So what's it going to take from Rhythm to get back into this one? Is it going to take some outrageous shots? That might have been it, but no, Ethan was waiting, willing and ready.
That's a land peak, isn't it?
Yep.
You get 2 frames of their head and you're dead.
Well, that's another element, isn't it? We didn't even really get to touch on is the complete difference in the server, let alone the emotion, the mental state. Is Worthy does find one back on a derp, so is the Maestro down as well? Okay.
Yeah, good pick, good
Positive.
trade.
I'm positive about this now.
Yeah, all right, let's go, Rhythm.
Oh, no. I was positive all until I saw Diesel on the smoke with the shotgun on Blue
yeah.
Stairs.
He's been so good on the smoke.
Oh,
and he
my
hasn't
goodness. He's been an absolute beast on that smoke.
A weapon.
Quite literally in his own right. He's his own weapon. And I've actually seen this exact play down in toward the Blue Stairs, trying to push up, and all you're being met with is Diesel with a shotgun. And Ethan with the pre-fire on the left.
Shot.
And some more as well. Adding to the tally, Ethan, he's making it look easy at this point.
Yeah, tally-ho. Rhythm so far, just Wayne Man and OJ. 2v4, and you know, one of those 4 is Ethan. This is looking pretty rough. Here comes Ethan going for more pre-fires. That one was about a mile long.
Surely he's not going to find another pre-fire exactly like the other. Does he? No. IQ doesn't stick around for long enough to find out whether that's going to happen or not, but they've been limited so much in what they're able to do at this point. This has to be a round on the board for August, and it's just being confirmed.
Yep, OJ, what can you do here? Nothing. Emarin shut it down.
Quite literally nothing.
You know, I was kind of hoping Ethan would get the ace. Match point. Series point.
That's it. And all but the hopes and dreams have been faded.
Yeah.
Faded and destroyed. And 2-0 seems to be the score that is going to ring clear at the end of this one. 6-1. Rhythm with barely anything left in the tank.
Coming into this, though, like, realistically, we're like, yeah, this is August all the way. So I don't think they can be too upset over how this is going, Manic.
No, I would have to agree with you on that one. I think that, you know, just to be here is enough. Well, no, it's never enough, is it? You know, you really do want to see more of it. But just want to see the last grasp. See Rhythm give just whatever is left in the tank.
Watch them come back, and we're going to have, like, 3 more maps. Another map after this one.
Yeah, the 5 rounds. You know what? Let's be Mr. Optimistic at this point, Monkey.
Yep.
5 rounds, easy.
Easy.
Easy for the boys.
Easy. It's just one after the other.
Yep. It's all right, Rhythm, we got your back.
We believe.
So we've got, what, August 1 and August 2 and August 1 win. Is that the...
Either way, we know an August team is going to win today, don't we?
Yes, yes we do. That is for damn sure. It was all but confirmed. And Neo Fighter, does he give a little bit of salt in the wounds to Rhythm here? Does have a cheeky little peek going straight in towards spawn. And this is exactly the same position that we saw one of the members from Rhythm. Hello.
Looks like he's got it. A little bit of sauce.
Bit of spice with that one. So that's going to be... bit of a harmful start to Rhythm, and it's just going to continue to go downhill.
Yeah, when you start off your potentially final round at a man disadvantage, it's
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
a very hard mental spot to be in.
Attackers dropped the diffuser. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
I'm changing maps.
Well,
Well,
it's one of those ones that are so hard to cast, right? Just because it's kind of going how you expect it to.
yeah. And it's, you know, it is the worst part when it is going the way you expect it to.
Defender is exposed.
Damn it, Dirt. He will be traded out by his worthy. That's two aggressive peaks to start from August. But, you know, it's okay when you want to see a close match and it turns out to be a close match.
Yeah.
But when it's anything but, it really does. It hits. It hits right in the feels.
Look at the information Emo Ren's picking up here. He knows exactly where that buck is and what that buck's doing. Worthy going to try and get something going, but it's a tough position to be in. Man disadvantage, a minute and a half to go. What's the plan from Rhythm? I can't really see any coordinated effort into one spot.
I hate to say it, but let's yeet on sight.
Yeet on side.
Let's do it. It's all or nothing here for Rhythm. The hopes and dreams of their Six Masters semi-final is slowly fading away, but not just yet. They've been able to pick up one Neo fighter, however, making short work of Leb.
Is Worthy down or is he...
Wow.
Oh, looks like he's just 1 HP.
Oh, God.
Manic.
Yep.
Manic.
Don't do it to me.
I think this is you know, how the universe ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper, and I think this might be exactly how Rhythm are going on out. 1 HP and a 1-on-3. Not likely to happen at all. There we go. Now fighter. Close it out.
Yeah, very nicely done from August, and this is exactly how we thought it was going to go. It's exactly what we wanted to see.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
What I'm disappointed in is that it's only 1 round for for Rhythm on that last map.
All right, let me ask you this truthfully. Did you expect anything else coming into this, into Coastline?
No.
Okay, so there we've answered it. We've answered the true testimony.
It hurts.
Of them. It
It
does.
hurts, yeah.
And it is really bittersweet for Rhythm. You know, they had a great trek here. They were in Group B, so you know they actually had to get past 6. You know, there were 6 other contenders for, well, realistically 2 other contenders for that 4th spot. They managed to make it to land. They get some experience, and again, this is where teams can really start to form a bit more of a baseline, a bit of a foundation to build upon.
Yeah. Well, looking forward though, like as I said, we have seen some good stuff from Rhythm lately. What do you think here they showed what they're worth, or like,
Rhythm?
Yeah, because I really think they've played so much better online lately.
Well, the only team that could have been worse to go up against is equally the same as Fnatic. Like it was
Yeah.
going to be one or the other, right? Because they are that 4th seed, and I think that it's again, like I said, good foundation, good start for them. Obviously, not getting a lot of experience from that game in particular.
No.
The first match more so. You know, the first match on Villa, it looked a lot better. They seem to maybe have Augus's number picked in the first 2 defensive rounds.
Yeah.
but
You say that kind of thing, but it's not just getting the experience in the map. It's also getting the experience, you know, from being out of LAN, and also, you know, just being able to spend some time with your team.
Yeah, certainly is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a bit of an interview from Matt on stage.
Thank you, Monkey and Manic. Yes, I have Diesel. I have a semi-finalist. Yes, well done, Diesel. Congratulations, you and August coming to our semi-finals, which I guess you expected. You're here as, you know, the number 1 seed in many people's eyes and the favourite, so I guess you thought this was going to be a fairly comfortable start.
Yeah, we try not underestimate any of our opponents, especially at LAN, because anything could happen. But yeah, we were just comfortable and just knew we just had to show up on the day, and yeah.
Villa, though, you dropped a couple of rounds in there. Mistake rounds, really, to be honest, don't you think?
Yeah, just we tried to like do a kind of a rush on Kitchen and just stalled out a bit too much, allowed them to rotate back, and just a few like stalling out and just miscoms and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay. So things you can fix, things you know what it was and easily can identify.
Yeah, we could identify what our problems were. Yeah, just that kind of stuff happens sometimes.
So you're reigning champions of ANZ at the moment with the Oceanic Cup, and obviously you want to win this big and, trust me, heavy trophy for the Six Masters. Best team in the region, then, is that what we're going to call you?
No, I don't think it's fair to say that, especially when we're a sub-region of ANZ and APAC. Obviously, Fnatic's like the other big titan in this, so I don't think it's fair to say that, but we're gunning to win it. We want to win.
So what's it going to take? Honestly, I'm not trying to put you on the spot and make this difficult for you, but outside of this region, we see Fnatic at a lot of things. What's it going to take for it to be Auglis who come to those kind of events and become known as the biggest team from here?
Well, this roster's gradually made roster changes over the last few seasons, and we're moving in the right direction. Just like more experience at LANs and just making sure we're showing up on game day, basically. We fell short at the Riley Major LAN just recently when we were one map up, and it hurt a lot, and I don't want to feel that again, so we're just trying to keep moving forward, basically.
That's the hunger, though, right? Isn't it? When you get close to something like that, as you say, and then, so near but so far, really, that makes you find up to do it again.
Oh, yeah, an international LAN would be, like, massive for us, so, like, hunger's, like, the most important thing a player could have, in my opinion, so, yeah, definitely.
Congratulations. We go one step at a time, and you're into the next round of this, which is where you needed to be. Well done again. Auglis into the semi-finals. Commiserations to Rhythm, their part of Six Masters. It's over.
And it is business as usual for Auglis. Diesel said it. He is hungry, and the team certainly demonstrated that today.
Yeah, hungry like the wolf. It really was, you know, like, and I think he said it best when he said, you know, there were a couple of missed rounds there, and it does come back to maybe some sloppy play, maybe just some not necessarily you know, missed plays more than it is just a lack in concentration for a second there.
Yeah, I would have to agree. But, you know, Diesel is too humble, in my opinion, on the stage there. If Auglis win it this weekend, beating out Fnatic, I think it's safe for us to say that they are the best team in ANZ.
And I'm not going to lie, I was talking to Matt during that last few rounds of that match. We're talking about what are we going to say? What are we going to get out of Diesel in this interview, assuming it goes through? And I think we really thought that, you know, Diesel would be confident in saying that, yes, maybe if we're not the best team, we're certainly getting close, and winning this event's going to demonstrate that. But like you said, there's a lot of modesty that he's bringing to the table, and I'm wondering, you know, is that a representation of a lack of confidence? Because I don't think that's what we're seeing from Auglis.
I think what it is a sense of hunger, right? They want to put themselves behind Fnatic at a certain point, but what they're really doing is they're saying, right, we're here, we need to be well above where we are right now, and by putting a space in between them and the #1 spot, it means that they're going to be constantly hungry, constantly going after that, you know, eventually those international lands, because I think at the end of the day, if we can see Auglis kind of, you know, really shine on through in these ANZ tournaments and take it to Fnatic, we might see them at the international lands like they want.
I think that's a really impressive result by the team, and I'm really impressed with Diesel there as well. As you said, Dev, we thought maybe they would go, yeah, come on, it's our time now. And that would have been fair for Auglis to go, yeah, it's our time now, we're going to be the biggest team out of this region, but not yet in their eyes, kind of not saying they won't be, and maybe in many people's eyes, if they win this weekend, they'll be there. Yeah. Now, particularly with Fnatic having a disappointing appearance at the major. Yeah, I'm impressed with Diesel there, going, well, you know, what he said in the interview that's good. That's a team going in the right direction and at the right speed.
Yeah, and I think the thing with this Auglis squad, though, is that they perform really well within the sub-region. It's just whenever they try and go global, or, you know, even in just APAC, that's when they fall. And I don't know if that's just a mental thing, and, like, you know, they have trouble, like, dealing with the pressure when it gets to the big stage, whereas Fnatic don't. But, like, you compare the two teams, and you must say that they are pretty close together in terms of skill and firepower.
Even in playstyle, there's a lot of similarities that we see between Auglis and Fnatic, but the one thing that really sets the two teams apart, and it was really exemplified in that interview, Matt, it was the attitude that some of these teams have. I mean, Fnatic are a team that pride themselves on their ability. They are confident. I mean, talking to them, you catch them at a LAN event, you even catch them in an interview, and they are very upfront about their ability and their opinions about how they're going to perform. And Auglis, I mean, we thought that Diesel was maybe being a bit modest, talking himself down a little bit too much. That's something that pops up a bit of a flag for me.
Ah, okay.
Really?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
that was
like,
a bit of a
I'm not
blank
trying to
reaction.
read into it, but it's just something I've noticed, right? And
it doesn't feel like there's doubt there. It's just modesty.
Yeah.
Is what I took from that.
No, I think I would actually agree in that sense. Like, obviously, I get what you're getting at there in terms of, You know, like, maybe they are a little bit too modest in a certain extent, but at the same time, they are really hungry. You know, like, you do get to chat with them individually backstage and, you know, at other events, and they always seem like they just want more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like I must say that August would be good Arsenal fans because they have tasted defeat so many times. I say this as an Arsenal fan myself, okay?
I'm on a desk with an Arsenal fan. This was not in my terms.
I don't
I'm
think
sure.
this was in the contract. Was
No, I really must start getting contracts. Okay, so let's show you where we're at then. Six Masters-wise, less of that. There we go. So it's underway then, our playoffs weekend, and it is 2-0 for August over Rhythm, as many people expected. Sees them through to the semi-finals. Our first quarter-final tomorrow will be between Acme and Mind Freak, so we'll work out top semi-final there. And then the other one will be lined up after Sinister have played Fury and Oddity round out tomorrow's play against Fnatic. There you see our times. Joining us, though, in the rest of the world, as I hope you are, given that that's where I like to be most of the time, although I am enjoying my time in Australia. We're talking basically 5 p.m. Pacific time is when you need to join us on the West Coast. East Coast, you want to join us at 8 p.m. The UK, my home, 1 o'clock in the morning. Join me here. I'm doing this thing. I'd love to see my home country come and join us at 1 o'clock in the morning, so that's when you need to be watching. And 10 a.m. AEST, most of the vowels, when we're going to be live here at the Melbourne Esports Open, with the doors open and the crowd here and a bit more pressure on the teams who've got to perform in the other quarterfinals because there'll be a bigger audience watching them. We've had a nice turnout this evening. We had a few people in the crowd here from on site. Good to see the other teams are here as well, and not just the teams who are playing, but some of the other teams who took part, some of the other teams who didn't make it into the top 8 are all kicking around this weekend as well. So this has been a good start to the tournament. Acme, Mind Freak, Sinister Fury, Oddity, and then Fnatic are the 6 teams remaining, and those quarterfinals will be with you throughout tomorrow. Exciting stuff to look forward to. So far, business as usual, I guess.
Yeah, and we already have one of the Challenger League teams, or the non-Pro League teams in this event who have fallen, that is Rhythm, but there's still hope for you underdog fans with Acme coming up tomorrow. The other team that isn't in the Pro League, and of course, I think another absolute banger to watch out for will be the ending match tomorrow. The first seed out of Group B, Fnatic, versus 4th seed out of Group A, Oddity. Certainly potential for a close match.
Yeah, Oddity have been one of those teams that just have the power to surprise, and you know that could be what Fnatic aren't looking out for, especially with the troubles they've had lately. It could be an upset.
Look, I've got to agree with that, because Oddity coming in at 4th seed was already a surprise in itself. You know, considering where they are in the region right now, where we hold them, where they hold themselves, you know, they try to think of themselves at that 3rd, 4th spot. Come tomorrow, there is a huge opportunity for them. But at the same time, you know, the Acme Mind Freak, I'm excited for these other matches, because we really do get to shape more of a storyline for what is to come for the rest of the weekends.
And we know there's a lot of Acme support out there as well, so keep that coming in the chat, and hashtag SM19, 6Masters19, if you want to let us know your predictions for the action tomorrow, or indeed who's going to win this whole thing. Dev, Manic, Monkey, and myself, Matt Andrews, will see you here at the Melbourne Esports Open for the next day of the 6 Masters 2019. More quarterfinals, and then a really tasty semis and finals will come to us on Sunday. But 10 a.m. tomorrow, 5 p.m., 8 p.m., 1 a.m., and all those rest of those times. Join us for the second day at the 6 Masters tomorrow.
Nicely done from Derp.
Still 45 seconds there.
Trying to take it down thumbnail. It's making the job so much harder. It's worthy.
Diffuser in hand, Thumbnail's going to have to try and make their way back across toward that south side, across towards seconds left. Feel like August is turning up the heat a little bit more. Ethan coming back around, but that is going to be Thumbnail.
Ethan, he's found one, he's found 2, he's
Oh
found 3.
My word.
Suddenly this
right there. Ethan's going to try and hold on his lonesome as flicking this. So will be going down. Can the C4 be enough? It's not going to be close enough on hands. Is worthy. What can he really get done here? Look how far away they are. Oh, big trophy that they've thrown in. Oh, massive. Derp. Has he been able to hold him? That's the real question right now. You can see picking up the pace. There's only 15 seconds left. Emo, a bit of a short bout. There's only 5 seconds left. They need to make this work. Nice seconds left. They need to make this work. Nice line being held from Emo in there with only 1 remaining. Around from the backside, so this should be a pretty easy and
He
confirmed.
gave his presence away, but oh!
Being able to play on the A site, pretty much scot-free. Both players on the B. What is going on there? But it doesn't make a difference. Guess what? House. And oh, that's the free kill for Ethan once. All you're being met with is Diesel with a shotgun. And oh, Ethan with the pre-fire on the lead. And some more as well, adding to the tally.